Honestly, there's nothing you can convince me to tell me that men don't feel some type of way about successful women.
Zizi, just answer the question. Are you looking for the next one? Because that's hiyo ni sisi. Like you are looking at it. So everyone used to feel like I have to have a foreign accent for me to make it. So I always say that that's one of the most beautiful things the Mongai Eves did. Mongai Eve and I'll give Lynn. Because they came with very Kenyan accents, yes?
Yeah.
Professor Hamo and Tamasha Band used to shut that place down. Like, he is
So
such a brilliant performer.
So Professor Hamo is what? Is a Jamie Foxx? Ekonene. Episode 560. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.
Na leo tuko na Nyokabi Macharia.
Yes.
And yo jina B unibamba sana na Kisapere. Because how B turns into F, I'm like, what the F?
Like what?
Yeah. So of course waseka mimi niko nafaa kukuintroduce as Nyokabi. But I heard you saying Nyokabi.
Right.
So I was like, let me go with that. And yeah, Kikuyu, whatever. Kwa nini you replace B na F? Have you ever gone
Honestly,
to the history of that?
I haven't gone to the history of it. But I remember when I was nikiwa mdogo, obviously nilikuwa nasema Nyokabi, alafu you get to that point where we were all decolonized and we all wanted to say our names right, and then I find out, okay, it's like Kafura. It's written with a B but pronounced as an F. So I was like, okay, no, you have to say it with an F. But I haven't chunguzad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alafu of course kwa CV yako I should put actress at the top, yes?
Yes, please.
Yes. And then after actress, should I put influencer ama media personality?
Wow, that's a good one. Honestly, hata sijui. Niko na director, niko na co-founder of film and theater company.
Yeah.
We also have Nyokabi Radio online. Performing artist, I guess, encapsulates all of those things.
That gets the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And alafu, one of the best concepts in checking your NCR, Nyokabi Radio.
Yes.
How did this come up?
Do you know, it was so random. There was a time I was literally going for auditions and I'm always listening to music in my car, and I'm just a fan of music generally. And
you can sing.
Thank you. Yes, I
Sauti
can.
Damn.
So as on my way there, I just like switch on my phone and I'm like, hello, how y'all doing? This is Nyokabi Radio. And it was just one of those random videos. And I remember the song that I was listening to was Ben Soul and Azawi and Elijah Kitaka. I forget the song, but I'll tell you guys to just put it on there. And people on my stories were like, oh my God, this is so fun. Put it on the timeline. I was like, really? Okay. And then I put it on the timeline and people just were vibing to it. And I was like, oh, is this a thing? And then kidogo, I was like, okay, let me post every other week. And then I'd see how people would react. And then I was like, okay, let me post now every week. And that's how it became a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, this is your copyright hatuwezi weka there. Unless it's your rendition. Without a beat.
I have my song coming up soon. So yeah, munaweza weka hiyo.
Because ulisema una plan ku like launch your
music career. Yes.
But before that, wacha to rewind kidogo.
Yes.
Born and raised in Nakuru.
Yes.
Ama Naikuru.
Nax Vegas. Watu wa Nax Vegas muko in the house. Yeah.
Kwani watu itaga Naikuru? Kwa sasa kulikuwa kana ai, si ndio kuna tusema Naikuru. Nyo sapere nyo sema Naikuru.
Kisapere utasema Naikuru.
Yeah, ni usapere tu honestly.
Kwa sababu sasa si ujaka Nairobi na kwaga?
Nairobi.
Oh,
you dropped the I.
We dropped the I.
Okay.
Nairobi.
Okay.
Nairobi.
But I think it's a form of ownership. Ni kama una try to colonize an area. Like this is my zone. Nitaita tu vile nataka.
Yeah,
Naikuru. Kama here wasapre wengine wakisema Nyairobi.
Yeah.
Like
what is that?
Yeah,
you learned that from your nyanya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Nakuru.
So Nakuru mlikuwa a family of
there's 2 girls and then my dad and mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
at least that we know of.
Okay.
You know, in this world you never know, so yeah.
Matikilo mabuda wekele wanoma. Yeah. So you went the first born, second born?
Last born, second born.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how's that? Like growing up as two girls?
I think we had a decent relationship with my sister. And then, you know, as a last born, honestly, last borns, we eat good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I feel like even when you look at the dynamic of the relationship between my mom and my sister and me and her, you can tell with the firstborn, and then she was a teacher.
Yes.
So very disciplinarian and stuff like that. So even her dynamic with my sister was very much like, ukikuja nyumbani lazima ufanye homework, alafu uoshe hii, alafu nini. It's a very, you know, parent child kind of thing, whereas myself and her, we have a little bit, and at the time she was a consultant, so she was working a lot with high school students, and I was in high school at the time, and that's when people started discovering traits of the millennials, which is usishautie millennials. You know, we see Gen Zs and it's like we had the same characteristics but like a level down.
Yes.
And so this is when she starts learning, with teenagers, this thing of imposing your rule on them doesn't really work. And so she was very much more softer and friendlier with me. So yeah, but all in all, we are two very loud girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, relationship na your dad?
Me and my dad my dad is a very funny man, very sarcastic as well, so I get my sarcasm from him.
Yeah.
And him and I are very, I don't know, I feel like growing older is when we've sort of understood, because I think as a child you only see your parent as a provider, you only see them as an object to your, like, not an object, but you don't see them as a human being.
Yeah.
They're there to fulfill a need, whether it's provider, whether it's protector, all of those things. But then I think having grown older, I think we've understood each other better.
Yes.
And we are kind of like, now we really vibe with each other, because he's also very much into history topics.
Oh, okay.
And I really enjoy learning about things that happened in history and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And because I think inasemekanaga most dads lose their daughters,
Yeah.
lose in quotes, around the teenage time.
Yeah.
So how strict was your father? And do you understand why some fathers lose their daughters around that time?
Yeah. Oof, that's an interesting question. Damn. My dad was not a strict dad.
Okay.
In fact, he's a very happy-go-lucky kind of person. Like, especially because now my mom was very, you know, disciplinarian type. My dad was the one. I remember even when I was going to do my KCPE, he told me, unajua ukianguka bado ni wangu, ukipita bado wewe ni wangu. So hakuna. So my mom is like, girl, you better come back with good grades, okay? And even I remember he's the one who taught me driving, and he's always insisting on, like, you need to learn how to drive. So literally my sister was taught how to drive when she was in class 8. And me nilikuwa mwoga. I dropped out of driving school like 3 times, you guys. It's insane. Like, but my dad was very insistent on, you must know how to drive. I remember he took me to Nanyuki one time, and it's like one of those big Pajeros, and you're just like, this is overwhelming me. It is exhausting. But he was such a gentle teacher, which is interesting because my mom is the one who was like, she's the teacher and everything, but my dad is very much like, usijali, gonga sasa ndio usikie iko sawa. My mom is like, utagonga kaiwe wacha. My dad is like, ukigonga sasa ndio unajua sasa umejua ku learn how to drive. So yeah, but we did have our rocky moments as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So rocky moments ilikuwa ni? We are girl dads, yes?
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is a preteen. Wake bado iko much younger.
Okay.
And with that, I always know that, and it's a scary moment because I know that in like 3 years' time, she'll be somewhere giggling.
Yeah.
Shaking. The way life comes at you fast. And this is ni mtoi nimeona akiwa small sana. So kuna ile design sasa, you start fearing. And I think for us as men, we fear because we know men. And by even we know men, we know teenage boys. and to me a teenage boy is a dangerous creature. That's just a creature that kichwa yake ukiangalia tu ni brain. Unajua vile brain uchorwa hivi alafu unaonatia brain ya politician wa Kenya is a big chunk written corruption. Brain ya the teenage boy, it's just sex infested. A teenage boy does not have the capacity ya love, but a teenage girl does not understand that tukiwa teenage boys, like it's crazy. I don't know if it's an evolutionary thing.
Yeah.
It's like possession.
You are possessed like full time unafikiria tu juu ya ngono. So ukionaga any toy teenage boy akicross barabara jua 90% of brain iko. The other 10
Ni ngono tu.
yeah, the other 10% kuna education, kuna everything else.
And then ngono.
Yes. So there's that's the thing that scares us. But because of course your kid has to date other kids. Unajua yani has to unataka interact with other small kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
So-
having an interaction with what is it? A grade 9. Grade 9 girl. Anaenda ni kama grade 10. She was quite open about even she told me, you know, I have a boyfriend. And they're like, oh, okay. So I was just catching up because nilimwona kuwa mdogo.
Right.
Aniambia, me I have a girl, I have a boyfriend. Niko like, what do you do? We go out na nini. Ati sijui yako high school hapo. Sana kaangalia mle. They're like, does your mom? Yeah, they know. They're like, hey, enyewe times have changed.
You guys wouldn't allow your kids to have
I'll allow it. See, Ian,
Are you ready for that?
because I don't
Undi yako hapo.
saki kulose mtoi wangu.
Yeah.
So I'll allow as long as niko kwa the vicinity. There's
Yeah.
no funny business.
Ah,
I have to talk to the dude. Like
But-
to make sure
yeah.
nimetuma dota yangu kubai kitu.
yeah.
Alafu nabaki niora ya.
But
Alafu
where is
najua-
the trust? Do you not think that you've empowered her enough with information enough for her to know what is good and bad for her?
Maybe we'll come to that. So wacha tuanza na hiyo.
Rocky moments.
Yes, wacha tuanza na your rocky moments. Alafu we'll come back to your kama nimemempower.
Man, okay, our rocky moments, which ones would I say?
Was it
I think-
kuzoka boy flani ama ile
Not
teenage
really.
kuwa rude, semi-rude, where you're bordering on rudeness and it's not rudeness?
Yeah, I think I'm very strong-headed. Mi ni kichwa ngumu, to be honest. And my dad is very much, very not traditional. I would say traditional, but also, so kulikuwa na hiyo collision of me, this is what I believe in. So where itabidi umejipanga in terms of itabidi umejiadjust. So I think we collided a lot on ideals, on the fact that I want to dress a certain way, and my dad feels like mtoto wangu anaenda aje hivyo, you know. But I was very much like, hey, me, I love fashion, me, I want to express myself in a certain way. And so it's those teenage things and girl things that you're like, me, I want to make my own choices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that dressing part najua ni shida.
Yeah.
At some point. I think with us as men inakuwaga, it's always tagged to other men. Like our fears for our daughters.
Yeah.
It's because of our experience as men.
Yeah.
So with hiyo kitu unasema, like I think nimemempower enough.
Yeah.
I'd say the internet has changed everything.
Right.
So me as the dad, I might empower my daughter and tell her boys are not to be trusted. Then ataenda online apate other girls now telling her, enjoy your youth, have a whole face, you know, all that bullshit that is online.
Yeah.
So these are the things now you are afraid of, because as a girl dad, you don't want your daughter to have a whole face, because it looks like something simple, but it might come with mental. Because boys, the minute that they know them and have a whole face, they'll treat her without respect. I think literally naeza sema boys, the ones who've been raised well, in quotes, so treat them will anajitreat. So if you feel like you respect yourself, tutakurespect. Tukifeel kama haujarespect, disrespect does not mean that I'm going to kuhit ama what, but it's going to be like, oh, okay, so westa kuona tena, let me just, I don't have to be nice to you, I just have to stay calm chilling with another boy. And with time I feel like that can mess up with a girl's head, where she'll never know who likes her and who doesn't like her. So that's why we feel like we need to protect them from that side of men. Nacheki. So you want to hold on to her for as long as possible before release to the ugly world, but at some point you have to release her to the ugly world for her to figure out.
Right. Right.
Talking about ugly world, there's this instance nilikuwa na a European friend so tulipatana coast, then went back to Europe. Sai time ingine akarudi na his kids. I think the boy was maybe 20, the girl was 15. So niambia niaje tuko tao, tuko hotel fulani kuja tuchukue, was supposed to go out. Sasa sisi wote. So mse nilikuwa namchukue like my dad. So nafika hapo aniambia, see, we smoke a bit. Of course, weed. Do you know who's rolling?
Oh, the daughter.
The daughter. Daughter ndiye alikuwa na sana ifako hivi anaambia hurry up. So najua pia me I'm there, waiting for the blunt to be passed. Mimi niko familia gani?
But
the son
daughter
was
smoke
chill.
lakini.
Ati?
Daughter smoke 15.
Tiana smoke.
At 15?
You guy.
That's bad, man.
You guy alikuwa tu hivi anachoma. 15, 16, but she was not.
I know
young.
Europe is weird.
She was not 18. So I'm there, mimi niko na maswali mingi. Na ngoja tu tuacho tu na huu mudani muuliza maswali 2-3. Kwa alikuwa ameniambia tafuta kitu ya kugrind kama hizi nini garlic. Kwa alikuwa ananiambia, the last time uliniletea ilikuwa na big particles. So akaniletea na akanigift au kakitu. Yeye nililetea. Sasa now to be grinding my weed smoother. Me, I'm not a weed head or something. So after ya nini daughter yake ended downstairs, nikamuuliza, kwani you guys uko chill sana na daughter yako? Kaniambia yes, we are. So of course yeye ameachana na mother yake, they living separately. Aniambia yeye ako more close na daughter yake. Son yake alikuwa anambia maybe they're not that close.
Because sons always side with mothers somehow.
Yes. No, I think she was 17. So ndio akaniambia when she was 15, when she broke her virginity, she came and told him.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Me, I think that's...
But
let me ask
Yes,
you guys.
it's yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah.
they were, as in hakuna any ratchet thing niliona na udem. Bond yao ilikuwa tu sawa. They were so close, sikusikia waki-argue. So like, hiyo time nikasema sasa girl child.
But
it's Europe. Europe is weird.
Yeah.
So unataka kutuliza?
Me, I just wanted to say, I think that closeness, I wish I had that with my dad, to be honest. Like, it's so important because you realize that's if you're friends with your daughter, if you don't make things awkward between you and your daughter, like your daughter should be comfortable enough to tell you, dad, go and buy me pads, or dad, go and buy me tampons. Don't make it a thing of like, where hapana unajua according to our customs and stuff.
Hiyo ni bullshit.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that is your child. It's not, there shouldn't, traditional things should not come in between you and your blood. Yeah.
And
I think that's where we lose connects. I think
But I think we lose connect more on girl likes boy, because the girl likes boy part is where girls, I'm sure as a teenage girl you genuinely believe that boy liked you, just liked you for you.
Of course. And you're watching all types of movies, you're like, yes, woohoo. You're there watching what are those Ninis, I forget, One Tree Hill. You're like, yeah, that's gonna be me and my boo, Yeah. And there's all of these ideas about what a relationship be like. However, I'll say at the time I don't think you're thinking of sex.
It's because you're a teenage girl.
Exactly. You're just thinking love, and we'll kiss under the tree and we'll be a cute couple. And I feel like sex comes later, and I guess with all this exposure of what's going on as well. Yeah.
Because sasa sisi as boys tunatafuta tu opportunity. That's why like if a boy is kissing a girl, anakuaga hivyo atakiss alafu anze kumove mkono. Inagongwa, you see. So that's the difference, and that's what now as dads tuko really scared for our daughters, because what happens if your daughter is like, you know what, it's not bad, let me just experiment, and this experimenting moment can end up being life-changing. Understand? For a boy, people will say it's life-changing, but it's not. A 15-year-old boy can anaweza ruka mimba na endelee na life yake and can't even forget about that experience. A 15-year-old girl if it ends up like she's pregnant, it's a lifetime commitment. Nacheki, there's a certain song mupenda sana. It's an underground rapper inaitwa The Cool Thing to Do. It's a song a rapper wrote for his niece, and it's very interesting because inakuaga like they're having a conversation. It's such a beautiful song. Najua sijui sikiza rap. Not
to be honest, not so much.
But
yes.
It's called The Cool Thing to Do.
Yeah.
So inakuaga it seems like the cool thing to do. Nini. So talks to the niece. Alafu namwambia, one of the things anamwambia gani, I know right now you're tired, but soon if you get a kid, you won't be tired. Mommy can never be tired. You'll have to change the diapers. You'll have to do what. So inakuaga about the consequences for a little girl and the consequences for a little boy. We might want to make them look equal, but they're not.
Yeah, but
one
I think
is life
also,
changing, the other
is and with I guess if you've created a relationship and environment that where your kid is comfortable enough to even share these things with you, then you would essentially be their first point of contact if they even want to experiment something. Come on, break barrier to a point where they're like, okay, dad, there's this person who was you, what do you think about it? And I think that's one of the ways now you can be able to make sure that your kid is always feels like they're in a safe environment, or they are aware when they are not in a safe environment. Yeah
Okay, so with that I think before kusunataka baadaye hapa tupongejia what is it called, I want us to talk about art in general, yes? And the performances kusunachiki ulikuwa kwa Too Early for Birds, yes? Too Early for Birds majuzi tulikuwa na nani? Kuna Gadhoni na pia tulikuwa na nani tena? Who else did we? Too Early for Birds. Who else? Jina imenipotelea.
Okay.
But tukikam back to Nini. Now, as we talk about this, there was a video that was trending last week. I don't know if... Do you watch podcasts, Damaju?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a podcast called Flagrant?
No. No.
But yes, so Flagrant has two hosts, yes? So there's a host called Akash Singh.
Okay.
Akash Singh, so I guess ni which race?
Asian.
Yes. And then there's another one called Andrew Scholes.
Okay.
So, but they're based in America.
Yeah.
So the wife of Akash Singh started a podcast, and this podcast has people talking about, well, what time I watched 2 episodes, and they're busy telling Akash to divorce his wife.
Okay.
So sisi as men tukisikia hivyo we understand, but I don't know if as a girl one is understand. So I want to play you some few clips from that show, and you tell me if a wife akiwa kwa podcast yuko allowed kusema hivi, are we being sexist and misogynist ama and not letting women explore? But here I don't know what they were discussing here, but nataka usikize.
Priya, would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husbands? Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us four? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we
or
did
it's
it.
thick. It's thick.
I'd only been down for an orgy if we do it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you think she disrespected her husband? So the husband is in the background,
Yeah.
seated with the other husband of the other co-host.
Yeah.
So wako kwa background, and she's saying this about that dude. Do you think it's disrespectful to the husband in any way? And think as a modern woman.
Yeah.
'Cause I want us to have this, we are in the modern world.
First, I think every relationship has such a different dynamic. We don't even know how these guys relate. Like, I think there has to be a little bit of context of how they relate, because maybe that's their banter. Maybe that's a banter that they'll usually... I don't know if you've seen these couples where they're like, sham divorce. By the way, my hubs, what's up? What's going on? So I think there's also a lot of... This is what... 3 up to 40 seconds of a clip.
Tutaendelea.
Right.
Nataka tu kusikia hapa. Bacha tuanze pole pole.
It's 40 seconds of a clip, and mi sijui nini unafanyaga na bibi yako. Like, sijui nyinyi urelate aje, sijui kama nyinyi kuambiana love you, it's kuna wenye they don't prefer PDA, but my God, behind closed doors, those people love on each other like we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Whereas there are people who here they shout about their husbands and wives, lakini behind closed doors they have the worst relationship ever. And so I think I can't even make an opinion based off of this because I don't know how it is that they relate. So me kama wana relating you, I mean, hey, listen, because I don't even know the husband. Maybe the husband says worse things in his podcast.
The husband is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And for a very long time, alikuwa naambia watu, I don't know why he felt like he needed to say it, but he's a staunch Muslim. So he used to tell people he's marrying a virgin girl.
Right.
And her girl is not experienced sexually. They are going to explore each other on that night. He used to talk a lot of shit. So that was for some context. So wacha nikucheze the next clip.
Okay.
And yeah, mwechikita saizi sitaki opinion ya Ian because Ian atakuja na masajoni yake. Ian ataka ikuwe truly a feminine nini. Okay.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remembered that I would like try to finger me in my asshole. I'm like, first of all, we were not on those like terms. But anyways, so that was non-consensual actually. That was a non-consensual like butthole action. But now.
So the husband is in the background. Are we still okay? Is this?
So wait, this is her talking about her husband?
No, I'm talking about another previous lover.
Oh,
some previous lover where
yeah.
This previous lover alimfanyia vitu.
Which sounds like rape, by the way.
Yes.
It's
So that's why sisi as dudes, you see him is moved his head, he's anangalia huko.
Yeah.
Because anashindwa, why the hell is she telling people all this information?
Yeah.
Like is all this necessary?
Yeah.
So that's why you want your feminine your views.
In fact, my mind has not gone to the husband. My mind has gone to she had such an experience and she's laughing about it, but from what she's saying, that is rape, isn't it? So I think for me the conversation even shouldn't be, is it still okay for the husband? I don't even think the husband should be. Why is he part of this conversation?
Okay, wacha tuendelee na hii clip kidogo tu. Okay.
Now, like with my husband, we've done it a few times, and I will say, like, not to be too graphic, but like the orgasm, like from.
Okay, so hapa tuendelea kudiscuss nini yake. This is coming from the context of Udem. She had to even go online and explain why she's not a virgin, because apparently she was supposed to be a virgin. Yes. But even as a virgin, she was taking a man na kwenda naye kwa nyumba, wanalala pamoja. You see the modern world, I feel like the way you discuss men, ama muna angalia men, it's a very interesting way that's not realistic.
Okay.
That you can just get the stranger, go with this stranger in the house and expect the stranger not to be dangerous. In quotes, rapists exist. Does that make sense? The rapist exists. So since rapists exist, you should always treat everyone as a suspect. Usini trust. Understand? Like you should always be on the defensive. Awezi enda na kimse aujui kimetoka wapi, because hapo she was giving a story. If you listen to the context tuko mbele, it's like some random whatever dude, they go na yeye, she wakes up with a sore ass and she's like, this is my first bad story. That's why people are asking for the next bad story. So if you go there, you'll see there's no one talking about the R word, because ingekuwa she's given us and she's not laughing and she's not just told us that she wants to have an orgy and she needs a 10-inch dick from her friend's husband. Wachikitungeangalia na, but this is tunaangalia like, damn girl, like is all this necessary? He's seated there.
Me, I don't agree with you at all, because first of all, I think any human being can do whatever it is that they want to do. And just because she's having that type of discussion, I don't think her husband being there or not needs to be placed on her. Because secondly, it's the husband who went to say that he's going to marry a virgin. How is that any of her business?
I think she's the one who told him that.
To go and say that he should marry a virgin.
Before she came out, he actually believed, like everyone has gone back to the original clips, he actually believed she was a virgin. Except now kwa hizo podcast, there's the co-host anaitwa Andre Schulz. He could see that she was lying.
Okay.
So he used to, now people can go back and say like, oh, there's a reason why he never liked her.
So this was a confession. Was this a confession?
No, this was a podcast. So kwa podcast she's just dropping all these stories and people are there like your husband is there, don't do that.
Konene, so unacheki kiti nimekalia ni very comfortable and saizi kuna vile tume upgrade studio, so kikama hapa kwa studio utapata kuna vile kuna like different cupboards and the furniture just looks really good and that's courtesy of Best Furniture. Best Furniture wako located wapi? Wako located along the Eastern Bypass next to Hopkins Hospital. Alafu apart from kukumekia very good furniture, another thing that they do is you can pay on delivery. So unangoja nini? Majuzi nakunga nikisema that I've been getting busy lately, so ilibidi nibaki nime upgrade kitanda, and all I can say is hiyo kitanda hujai kuja na soundtrack, hutasumbua watu. So changamka jo. Best Furniture jo. Cheki ule studio ni ya nguvu nacheki. And ukibaki umereach out to Best Furniture usisahau Konene is the guarantee. Cheki gira inaitwa Ian squeeze one. Haikai uncomfortable. Na ule nakaga iko comfortable mbaya. Best Furniture Konene.
So do you understand the male, what do you know about the male psyche? Because I think girls nowadays anaonaganika muna to disregard, so amjuagi the way we reason.
I think I wouldn't know because now sasa sioni psyche yenyu, because also I could ask the same question, what do you know about the female psyche?
I know I think I watched something else. Who was it? Ilikuwa ni Adele Onyango did a show and she was talking about the traditional woman. The traditional woman has to get married, have kids, have what. And I remember when I reacted to that, I was like, am I supposed to call Rihanna a traditional woman? Rihanna has dropped 3 kids right now, yes? So I feel like right now kuna hiyo thing of Dema Kiza anakuwa traditional. She's no longer a woman. She's become traditional just for giving birth, yes? And in the process, when a man is like, just keep your raunchy past, even if it's to CC, don't tell it to the public. Because the way I relate with other men, this is how we disrespect each other. We are the sort of people tukikaa chini tukidisrespect each other, itakuwa like, si demu yako alikuwa anadinywa kwa choo.
But you see, all I'm hearing is how that affects men. I'm not hearing anything about what the woman wants.
Yes, so, that's what we were asking. Like,
yeah.
That's why tunatry kuunderstand who dem. Because kwetu, all we are seeing here is disrespect. And disrespect of you're taking your husband and just bashing him. Like, this is all we are seeing. That's why if you go through the comments, everyone is Akash Ran, and these are men.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think men are offended by because first of all, I don't think she's mentioned her husband in any of the, like, this story is not even about her husband, right? So the fact that you guys are offended about, and you've made this story about the husband, and yet the story is not even about the husband.
The husband is in the room.
But why is that? If you watched this video and you did not know that the husband was in the room, would you know the husband was in the room?
He appears at some point. Okay, this is how I'd look at it. Okay, let's say you're married, yes?
Yeah.
Your husband goes for a podcast, and the podcast is with a friend of yours.
Yeah.
And your husband says, I'd love to have an orgy.
Yeah.
That involves now the friend of yours.
Yeah.
And says, I bet she has a very tight vagina.
Right.
That would make you feel no type of way.
I'll feel some type of way, but also it depends on how we relate. That's why I'm saying there's so much context that we don't have about how these guys relate.
I think
I would feel some type of way. I'd be like, wait, what do you mean? However, if that's how their friend group, because I think there's a lot of context that we don't have with these people.
Okay. I think you need to watch the whole thing, because I don't think the whole world, like if video moja, okay, the actual video itself, people are not watching it, and it's deliberate because they don't want to promote her. So I think the last time I checked, it had, because the husband used to get like so many views.
Do you think if the husband did the same thing, he would get all of this flack?
That's not now what I wanted to get to. I feel like in the modern world, the line between femininity and masculinity is thinning. Do you think it's happening? Because the question you've asked, would the husband get the same flack? Yes.
Honestly, if this was the husband, I bet you we'd all be like, what? Oh my gosh. But because it's I think there's more weight on the video because it's a woman who said it. Because people don't like to see a woman who expresses herself without the permission of straight men and how the gaze of the straight man sort of appears on a woman. Because think about even guys like Kina Aziad catches flack just for existing. Like, people get offended because Aziad has how many people have loans outside here, but because a young woman has dared to go beyond and be like, listen, I'ma live the big life, everyone feels like they have been offended by her actions and that kind of thing. So
I don't think it's a gender thing. I think because even for us, we explored it the same way we explore nani. Tuki-explore kina Kenyan Prince, Sammy Boy, we'll just dismiss it as running a scam.
Right.
Tuki-explore the Asia thing was making bad financial decisions. At 25, whether you're male or female, you shouldn't be on a mortgage. That's number one. Number two, a mortgage in Kenya, even at 45, I'd not take a mortgage in Kenya. It's 13-14%. You could get the best is 11. A mortgage in America starts at 2.8%. There's a reason why everyone has a mortgage in America. A mortgage in Kenya, the bank is rooting for you to fail. So I think Apple, for us to turn it into a gender thing, because I remember someone else said it was a gender. I was like, no. Mi nikika hapa naambiaga even 50-year-old men do not take a mortgage. A mortgage in Kenya is a death sentence. It's too high. 15% is too high. If another country is taking 2.8, this is 5 times. Why are you taking it? Just rent. So I don't think yake. Apo talk may digress, but I feel like that needs context. Anyone who went online and said Aziad is a woman and she should not have, that's a fucked up person. But for anyone out here, never take a mortgage. Tell the bank to go fuck itself. That's my 2 cents about mortgages. Right. They're just nasty. As in, it's a crime. And the fact that Kenya, Wachaga, that shit happens. All of us would own houses. If you are in America, we ungekuwa na house. Ungekuwa sisi wote na house, juko uko na house. But I'm saying we'd all own houses. 2.8%. 3, 4. Ikienda mbali sana ni 4.5%. How do you take 11%? How am I supposed to finish this loan? I'm never going to finish it.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess hatuwezi sema ati kama mtu wako 25 huwezi chukua mortgage. Kuna watu
no, nasema it's not a 50. I think I've said 50.
Yeah.
Never take a mortgage. A mortgage is just for the bank. It's not for you.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, pole.
Yes, no problem.
So to go back to hii story ya vile unasema tuna judge madam harshly. That's what I'm trying to imagine. Okay.
I honestly, there's nothing you can convince me to tell me that men don't feel some type of way about successful women. There's I don't even know if there's something in the society when they see a young woman excelling and just doing well. There's something that doesn't sit right, especially with straight men, if I'm being honest. Okay. And it's because also, you see, you guys come from at least the better part of the, population, millennials going backwards. You've been raised to be a provider. You've been raised to be the person who, takes care of the household. But then at some point during our parents' generation, women now started being empowered. And then it started shifting from a woman is only supposed to be in the kitchen and take care of kids and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, there was this empowered woman and you don't know how to deal with this person because you've seen your grandfather, you've seen your dad take care of the household, but then you get hitched to a woman who now has a job, also has to do her own thing, has her own career going on. And so there's a little bit of you guys are a little bit disoriented, because then you want to follow the footprint that you saw your parents and your grandparents follow. But then this woman is coming home at 10 p.m. because she's from a gig, and also she needs to wake up at 6 a.m. but still she has to work. And there's an imbalance there if the couple is not having discussions of, okay, clearly this household is different, right?
Okay.
You're coming with finances, I'm coming with finances. I have to the house needs to be clean at the end of the day, but we can't be able, and so a lot of things, ni watu waelewane marriage yao itakaaje, ni watu waelewane, are we going to have roles in this house? Or because you'll find there's a very educated woman, but she does not want to she still wants to be taken care of. She does not mind doing the taking care of the babies by herself and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of these things ni watu wa elewane, and it is very much on two individuals. There's this babe Cheryl Lee Ralphson, ukikuyu yangu imeingia hapo. The actress from Abbott Elementary.
Yes.
She
Nimganyo, the main one, not
no, the teacher, the older teacher, the one who sings.
Yes. Okay.
So she's been married to her husband for 20 years. And her husband is more of a statesman kind of person. Like his job is more on Washington, DC, right?
Yes, okay.
But she's a superstar, and she's always known that she wants to pursue her career in acting. So she was like, me, I'm going to remain in LA. You can do your thing in Washington. We can be seeing each other after every 2 weeks. And they literally live in separate states for 20 years. And I don't know how they relate, but she looks like she's in a happy marriage. And they're figuring it out. She decided that I love you, but I also love my career. Can I get the balance?
Yeah, yes.
The hubby decides, even me, I love you, but I also still want to do my thing. And they found a way to work it out. So I don't think there's a blueprint necessarily for how women and men can relate in the context of a marriage.
I think kitu moja umesema hapo interesting. Ni vile umesema for us straight men.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very important nini tuangalia. I don't think any straight man anajali jua wife wake kuwork. Najua. There are these few once ile I think nishaisikiaga like these masculinity channels, and when I had them I remember nikikaa chini hapa nikisema yo jinga, a 2-income household is better than a 1-income household any day. You understand? Because shit happens, life happens, you need a fallback plan. I think with this tunabonga jia the institution of marriage and how it works. There is Chris Rock the comedian alisemaga men don't settle, they surrender. Men don't settle, they surrender. And when a man surrenders, because it's not in our DNA to surrender, it's I think madem squeeze mtasema mkoka sisi, but as a teenage boy, as soon as you discover your sexuality, you're trying to conquer as many girls as possible. It's just in us. You just want to conquer as many girls as possible. Then at the older that you get, at some point you're like, you know what, I need to settle. This is some bullshit. I'm risking my life. I'm putting too much on the line. Let me settle. Sasa sijui kaa nyinyi mnakuwaga the same. Do you wake up in the morning as a woman and you're like, ekonene, I need to get as many dudes as possible? Do you go through any phase like that as girls? Where you want to conquer, like it's in your DNA. It's not some bullshit. It's evolutionary. And how is it evolutionary? Because back in the days there used to be war and men would die. Right. And when men died, who would be left? Very few men with very many women. So naturally, nature had to make sure that a man can spread his seed to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So eventually life changes. Nature haita change your DNA. It stays within you. So it's an animal that you have to control. So this is why a few men inakuwaga like ni hard sana. Muonaga dema memaria 22-year-old. I'm like, shit, okay, this is not going to end well, because the probability of a 22-year-old controlling his sex instincts is much lower than Mimi Sasa at this age. So let's start with your point. At any point were you trying to bang as many men as possible? At any point in your life?
Wow. I don't think you wake up thinking, I'm going to conquer. But at some point you're like, I mean, we all go through a whole phase where you're like, listen, I'm just trying to have a good time, okay?
So if one person gives you the best time, we'll still look for the next one to give you them the next. Like, let's say you get this one guy and he gives you the most heartbreaking orgasms. Are you still looking for the next one?
It depends which phase I'm in.
Zizi, just answer the question. Are you looking for the next one? Because that's your nisisi. Like you're trying to have as many bodies as possible.
I don't think that's the aim. But I think...
You see the difference? That's the core difference between sisi na nyinyi.
Yeah.
So ile time tunasikia kama mnasema mkokaa sisi, to go like, no, we are not the same.
Yeah.
We are very... For us, the number matters.
Yeah.
Like, hata unitandike 2 minutes, an account.
Yeah.
Unitandike 5 minutes, an account. This one I like. So let me put in some effort.
Yeah.
This one I don't like. This is so we are trying to do that. And for us, it takes an effort.
Yeah.
for nyinyi does it really take an effort? Let's start with that.
Does it take an effort to get laid?
Yeah.
I mean, you.
No, it doesn't.
I think it takes effort everywhere.
What?
In terms of, for instance, I mean, also us, we like looking good.
Yes.
Yeah. So where you're gonna go, of course, that takes an effort. You don't just show up. I can't just show up the way I was at home. It makes a little,
I thought
'cause
you
also
show
how
up,
you
you're
show
gonna
up.
go home, but you're still getting banged.
Also,
Dudes.
how you show up. Let me tell you, how you show up depends the quality of people that you are attracting.
Yes.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit of effort.
Nah. Just looking good. As long as mdomo inuki.
Wewe
umeoga.
just looking good. Unajua just looking good takes how long?
Sisi, you have to look good as a man. You have to look good. You have to have money. You have
Yeah.
to exude a certain level of confidence.
Yeah.
So you have to have money.
Yeah.
Most probably you have to do everything that the woman needs to do. Look good, blah, blah, blah. Plus you have to have money or prestige.
Okay.
So if not that, unaenda ku get these hood rats. And no one is trying to get a hood rat. You understand that? And by a hood rat, it's not a social class thing. It just means like a girl who unacheki. So since it takes a lot of effort and I don't think kuna kuwaga na hiyo mufil. The reason why I was saying there are differences na feeling ni kama siku hizi we are trying to make it look the same and it's not the same. Even our sexual experience is very different. You're trying to come, I'm trying not to come. We are in two very different journeys. Wewe unatry nataka kufika mwisho. Sisi tuko like shit nisifike mwisho sasa. Nisifike Eldoret niko Nairobi bado. Are you seeing the differences and the fact that squeezing na feel kama tumezifanya zikakuwa the same? To me it's frustrating. I'm like girls are devaluing something that has more value than it used to have. Sisi tunasemaga dick is worthless. Why? Because it's ready to go anytime. Especially like try to imagine 18, 19, 20, 21. That dude will sleep at I don't know what to lala na mboch. Saizi ukiambia mseiko if you find someone in his 40s ule analala na house help, that's a mental case. But at that early age kuna hiyo, and by that I mean consensual. Yes? I don't mean whatever. By that I mean consensual. At some point we get taste, we get what. So hii shida yetu I think ni hiyo hoface yenyu. And should it be publicly broadcasted? So do you think a hoface should be publicly broadcasted? For a woman who wants to settle baadaye. Pole, hii topic ikiwa mbaya tunazaruka to the next thing. It was just good to get a woman's perspective because na try to understand.
Yeah. Sasa. Okay. Should it be publicly?
Yes. Like unaingia kwa online, alafu unaanza kuambia watu like, so there's this day, unachika ule day. Aliingiza tu mpaka kwa haga. Nilisikia uchungu. And then afterwards,
but that is men on a daily. So why is it such a big problem when women do the same thing?
It takes effort. Yako does not take effort.
Akuna Masaya take effort. Me, I don't even think we're having a discussion here because what are we saying? You people broadcast your ninis every day.
Because it takes effort.
I've told you even ours takes effort. Looking good is a whole logistic. It's a whole logistic.
Shotiki choko shuko na ball.
Choko shako na ball? No.
Yes, wako. And do you know that...
At least I've never seen one.
Yes. Do you know that ati men justify that? There is kuna mtu alikuwa anatuambia there are men who justify it. That ukislala na mboj, since umemwaga kwa umaskini, umemwaga umaskini. So ati men sleep with nao machokosh so that they create wealth. There's actually a belief. And I remember hearing that nonsense. I was like, this is someone alishikwa na chokosh and they had to justify why wamekosa demo wa kawaida wakaendea chokosh. Nacheki. Because chokosh anizamlipa na gam alafu she'll be a hoe for the day. So why was I giving that example? Just to show you how some men just don't get laid. Paka mtu analala na chokora.
But even women, some women do not get laid.
Wanalala na chokosh?
I don't know. See, maybe not. But like, it's again, all of this is so subjective. There's
so subjective. I think it's us thinning the lines between masculinity and femininity. And us saying that, okay, is there a Koinange street for men where men sell penis?
No, because men are always selling their ninis everywhere. They don't need a street.
We're selling our
you're always Nini with people
for free.
yeah
Yes.
but like you
Yeah,
guys
you
don't
can
need a street
sell.
you're already doing it.
Nyie mnaweza sell. It has value. Like, why are we devaluing something that has value?
We are not devaluing
We are
it at
devaluing
all.
it
How?
by saying that it can be given anyhowly to keep up with men, because men, we don't value our shit. We just don't value. That's why tunaipatianaga ovyo. So at some point you find a woman that you love or you like, and then you're like, now I need to stop the bullshit, and you stop the bullshit. And when you stop that bullshit, kama Akash, for you to hear the same girl that you've put on a pedestal go somewhere and say she used to do all that, it gets worse. There's a part where she talked about, I think people rain a train on her kwa frat house. These are secrets you take to the grave. Don't tell your husband that.
We,
You take that to the grave.
hiyo imenishinda hiyo.
So umona pale, I think hiyo ndio clip tu sikupata. Ungepata ungeona why we are saying. And I feel like it's making modern marriages to be useless. Why? Because I'm a dem to understand. You mnafikiria tu, I'll just say I had a whole face, he'll understand. It's me today. Did you see tukimalizia story, did you see the Japanese man who divorced his wife after 60 years? After he found out that she cheated 60 years earlier. That makes no sense to you, sindio?
Yeah,
Do you know it makes sense to him and it makes sense to me?
60
We are weird.
years.
60 years.
Like Ali cheated 60 years ago.
Yeah. Buddha
Like
Japan.
that time you didn't go to the bank?
Back in the day.
Umeona?
Hilarious.
So, Nyokabi, iza tumekua sport, but kutuunderstand ni hard as men.
Any hard. Hiyo nayo ni
But
kweli.
ni poa mtu the main thing the one thing umesema which is beautiful is umesema straight men, because I think sometimes girls muna hang out with gay men so much that munashindwa vile su reason design. Ukiniambia secret yako ya 20 years ago, it's going to affect today.
But unajua mi nasikia tu vile sisi tunafaa kuunderstand, tunafaa kujua vile mna reason, but I'm not hearing where is the consideration on men's side. Are you making as much effort to understand women
Yes.
as you speak about?
Like ukishagwa, when you become my woman, yes, now I treat you with a certain level of respect and I put you
when
a
where's
cer-
the
a
karma
certain-
of all the people you've been sleeping with? Kwani unafikiria hiyo karma
niko na
inapotea?
put number 1 niko na
Hiyo
put
karma
effort.
inakupata tu.
Number 1 niko na put effort. Alafu number 2 you need me to have skills. A girl does not need to have skills, just needs to be tight and let's go. And
I
what?
not agree with the sentiments
Okay.
ni need in this podcast.
So it's interesting, but Nini, I think maybe the last thing tutamaliza na vilikuwa nasema, so do you think modern marriages can work? Can modern marriages work? Because
Of course.
nyi mnafeel ni kama tunawaputia an extra pressure because we don't want to know about your past. This is the phrase, men worry about a woman's past, a woman worries about a man's future. Nacheki. So I always say that women have this thing where they can see potential in you. Kionaga dem na mse amesota, jua that dude has a very high probability of making it in life. There's a way you jua ku detect potential. So, but sisi on the other hand, we worry about your past. Nacheki. So this is the dynamic that's very strange. You worry about my future. Will I be a loser forever? I don't want to be with you. A man is like, were you a hoe in your past? I don't want to be with you. It's a very different. So do you think marriage can work? Because I feel like
Marriages can work. I think unfortunately we get to see a lot of the ones that do not work because negative news sell faster.
yes.
But I think in fact probably the ones that work are the most silent engagements that we never even get to know about. And again, I'll reiterate, I think every partnership or people in partnerships just need to find a system that works for them. They decide this is what marriage is for us and this is what we're going to do. So yeah, I think marriages can work.
So now with that dynamic of worrying about past and future, do you think can still work?
Sasa unajua sasa ukianza kufikiria vitu zenye hazikuhusu, now that's on you. Wanasemaga ukitafuta utapata kile unataka utapata. So again, like why should that be, unless you categorically stated when you were starting this relationship that for me it's important for me to know all this, which I don't know what the reason for that is, but if you do explicitly tell your girlfriend, me, these and these are deal breakers, and if I knew this, then I'm not gonna be able to pursue this relationship. So but if that's not part of the conversation, then I don't think there should be any problem with regards to that.
Yeah. Okay, because I think Ian, is it sisi siwaga tu don't tell me. I think there's I always feel ushaut Chris Rock, the comedian.
Yes.
I think to understand marriage, Chris Rock is the best guy. Because Chris has this joke where he says if he tells women never tell a man your body count. And you'll tell him 1 and he's like, who raised you? Nacheki. So what he walikuwa try kubonga juu hiyo, because this is an American, this is not an African man. What he was trying to say about that is nowadays najua hiyo the fact that tunasema according to CC, especially when you're younger and broker, we feel like it takes a lot of effort to get girls. Men discover later in life that women enjoy sex. We always take it as a favor mnatufanyia. Do you know that? Like a man who's 21 years old thinks you're doing him a favor.
Right.
Afikiri unaenjoy and afikiri like, oh, dem do you a favor, Joe. So yeah, I think with that mentality inakuwaga like you did 50 guy favors. 50 guys? I'm not special. Because another thing so feel ni, if you give me, I feel special. So now, kama tupatia sisi watu 50, am I still special? Understand? So there's that kind of dynamic, and it's a very strange dynamic that, and I hate the fact that it's affecting modern marriages. Because now, because of Hollywood, I think like I see like 5 marriages getting divorced.
I think it's for modern marriages, it's for emotionally smart people. Unaangalia tu mtu wako unamwangalia tu like, can you handle the truth?
He can't.
Now if she can't handle the truth, then maybe hata even if I'm talking about like for me, seme tu tunabonga 2 stories maybe sex ka history tu ka come up, I wouldn't say that how mind blowing the past was yenye nilikuwa nayo, because I'm in this na unajua watu settle down together, both of you believe like this is the best person to ever walk down my path. So zile vitu nabonga uko like sasa hata nikiongea about your story, let me change the scene isikae ni kama I've had better things uko in my life, and now I come kuirub it off in the present. So even for chicks like sana I would say wenye there are dudes who marry madem wa club, and I'm sure anything about past waiongelea hapo, because akiamua tu kuenda that path your marriage is not going to last. The same way maybe would say getting a DJ for a husband, utashukuta kumuuliza ati wewe umekuwa na mademo
naona haribia watu inaharibia kina DJ Mo.
So ni vile nasema like I think it's for modern marriages ni you just shut the fuck up.
I think it's just shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up.
Let's just keep a few secrets. Let's take a few secrets to the grave, I think. And I think hiyo ni nini maybe tukimalizia, I think that's the one thing ile vile news semaga tuna mansplainia. The only thing to mansplain to a woman, how do you keep your marriage to last as long as possible? Is keep shut the fuck up. Don't talk about your past like that. Hollywood will lie to you that there's a man who will be like, oh, you used to suck 3 dicks. Oh, the dude will be like, you used to do what? This is nasty. I used to kiss. So the past kwetu ni important, the future kwenye ukijua na sota kesho utajidanganya utakaa na mimi, lakini utakaa na mimi. And I think for men that's another thing unatikigeta ile when kuna men who sota. Ulicheka the guy in Kisumu, the one who went and was given a 300 million bill and he went packed his Prado akaingia juu ya building akaruka, because we can never see you seeing us all the time. You for better or for worse, it's bullshit. Kaa tulipatana for better, you'll only stay with me for better, you won't stay with me for worse. And but wacha tutoke hapo, wacha to go back to wewe ulikuwa Daystar.
Yes, nilikuwa Daystar.
Isa I hope hatuja kuumiza roho.
No, amjaniumiza ni tu watu agree, but tuko sawa. Si lazima kukue na opposing opinions.
Okay, because unajua na iko na shino mtu 60 years. Hatuforgive gijo. So ulikuwa Daystar. How's Daystar? I always joke nilikuwa UN, I always joke that Daystar to me is like a high school. Is there a real campus experience in Daystar? Do you feel like
what's a real campus experience?
It's like I can wear anything I want. I can do a few things. If a girl likes me, we can hold hands
Yeah.
and go to class. We can laugh. We can, you understand? It's a
Right.
full campus experience. Pale nasikiaga sijui kuna, I don't know ka Daystar iko na hairstyle, but I hear there are so many rules.
Yeah, there were so many rules for sure. For instance, even just things that you can wear, you couldn't just wear anything. Piercings, dreadlocks for
so okay,
men. No, I didn't have these at the time.
Okay.
But I think now, I don't know if they've wamelegeza kiasi, but yeah, even dreadlocks for men was a whole issue.
Watu wa bangi.
Watu wabaya huku hata
Really?
hakuna story
Do
kama
they
ya
have-
kibangi, at least on campus. But off campus, obviously, all of this.
Do they have artists kama campus nights and they have
Let me
celebs?
tell you one thing about Daystar. It literally, it is the reason why I am where I'm at, because we used to do musicals every year. So every year you guys are just putting on plays like Daystar ungenda our like, not, how do we call it, there's a place called PAC, which is like when you enter the school, there's just a whole grounds place, and then you have like the offices there. When you go to PAC, you'd see someone with a guitar singing, and then some other people are dancing over there. Other people are like, it's the most, it literally is an explosion of art and artists, and there's different kinds of art, and it was the most beautiful thing ever, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've gonna study public relations.
Nilikuwa na study public relations.
So ni PR, eh?
Yes.
So PR, is it something you've used in your life?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm very I'm very structured in how I even like my documents, as you know, as Nyokafi, even in terms of how we run our company.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we are like, okay, no, we have to have this, we have to have that. So it really helped me in terms of just how we present our business in other business places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because your PR alafu art, I think those two merge
Yeah.
in like a certain very
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
did a course, events management, and with our film and theater company, Shots from Africa, which is the one that is also producing Index One, the show that we are doing.
Okay.
So also that has it sort of helped me to figure out, at least in the beginning, how you even put up an event to begin with. Yes.
Alafu after graduate uli rusha CV a few places ama you just went to
Hey, mi hata nili apply Tuko News. Sijui kama washaipata nini yangu. We Tuko.
okay.
Kwani mlipeleka wapi CV yangu? Nilienda huko interview. Wakaniuliza maswali za nini, nakwambia niliuma nje vizi. Hata
When
mimi
you took a post lean ama during lean?
Tuko, I think it was during, but way before. We're talking 2016, thereabouts.
Okay.
Nilitupa huko ma CV, wakaniuliza maswali za niliuma nje vizi. Yeah, didn't go through.
What position were you?
I don't even know, something to do with marketing or like social media. And then, at the time is when social media now was starting to come up as like a tool that most businesses are using, I think. Yeah, so now I was applying for something within social media.
Okay. And then lean, sikuwa nimeweka hii swali, but watching lean grow on Tuko, how was that for you? Because for me, I always say it's one of the most like mind-blowing things I've ever seen. Because I remember the first Skuza Kwanza, when she started posting, she'd write on Facebook, please guys, just watch this Nini, and I'd be there like, to watch online, kichwako ni mbaya.
Yeah.
And then she turned into this media I don't
Mogul,
think, yes, and
literally.
they're like,
How did that happen?
how did that happen? It's mind-blowing.
Honestly, I didn't follow her journey as much. Yeah, so I wasn't really, I think I caught up with her
When she was big.
when she was big and she had blown. So I think siku follow journey yake. Yeah.
It was so interesting. I think even the 2017 elections, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
she was there as like a media reporter kidogo.
I
And then she
see.
started doing those human stories.
Nice.
And it's just like it's crazy, man.
Beautiful.
Like tunaweza sema tu ni big up to
Yeah.
Lynn, man. Whatever she opened, yani at some point she was the Oprah, man. Mi mpaka I miss hizo stories. Nowadays she does not do those to human stories,
Right.
and I miss them. Like
She came to our farm in Joro. So my mom and uncle do a business with dopa sheep. You guys know dopa sheep?
ni gani hizo
it nini?
zilibiwa za
big
uhuru?
ones from South Africa.
Hizo ndo zilibiwa za uhuru ziliwasal kwa
Oh yes,
Yeah.
some really massive nini. So she came and she featured my uncle actually in one of her episodes.
za kitambo
Hello,
masaizi
Nepo. But yeah, no, recent this year, just this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Are they just for breeding ama pia ni
Anaweza
slaughter?
kuchinjwa si ndio?
So kuna sana ni breeding.
Yeah.
Sana ni breeding. But yeah, we also have dairy goats and stuff. Tuko wakulima huko tu tuna.
Yeah.
Trageria.
Oh,
Wako gani?
dairy goats.
So they have the dopa, which is now for breeding, and then now they also have the za kukamua.
Bado sheep za kukamua. Sasa ni goats sasa.
Goats, yes.
Kwa sheep inanikaliaga kichwa mbaya. Ndio ni gani hizi cha?
I think the denges.
Yeah.
Hizo ndizo kichwa mbaya.
Kichwa mbaya. They are very let me tell you the thing about animals, they literally attack because they feel like they're in danger.
Yeah.
So ni kuelewana tu nazo kama marriage.
Okay.
Kila kitu ni kuelewana.
Kila kitu elewana.
Married to find sheep.
So alafu pia hapa nikuwa nacheki kuna time kuna bonga you are so broke that you questioned your choices.
Yes.
So which brokenness was this that makes you question your choices? Because I think that's thug rock. Tunaitanga thug rock. Thug rock is a Luo word for shida.
Tagro.
And gnashing of teeth.
Yeah.
Way.
Modolak.
Yeah. You know when you're just giving so much to the craft and you're investing so much and then it doesn't
Give back.
Yeah, it doesn't give back at least the way you anticipated. I think that's the mind space that I was in. I was just like, "Ay, sasa hii why are we doing this thing?" Yeah. And I think also, to be honest, at the time I feel like mentally I wasn't in the best place. So when you're broken mentally, like I think that's the worst place. But when you're broken, you're in like Karen or like in a Range Rover.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. I mean, when you're
Kulia kwa
depressed
Range
but you're
Rover.
in a Range Rover, you can go and just
Socially
also,
broke.
you're you know what I mean? Like, it's just the worst. So yeah.
Najua kwa nini mwitanga Range Rover Range Rover. Nasikia mwita Range Rover.
Yeah.
There's this song I used to love. Yanani, this girl, Alicious. That song. There's this one song that blew up Alicious.
Yeah. Who is Alicious?
Damn. Unafaa kuchapwa.
Pita njia.
What's the chorus?
Wait, wacha tuta commercial break. Haiwezi onekana YouTube. Hawezi kuwa serious ujue Alicious.
Maybe najua nini yake najua.
Unajua.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
I'm bad at singing.
Yes, he's really bad at singing. Alicious.
I hope.
Unamjua. Short hair, Lingala, background.
Popular.
Light
Posa ya
skin.
Bolingo. 8.1 million views.
Konene, nimeinterrupt show kukuremind juu ya Lemfi. Kama uko US ama Canada na unataka kutuma do Kenya, register kwa Lemfi ukitumia promo code EKONENE. Hii itakuguarantee $20 cashback on your first $100 transaction. Alafu pia time una register, make sure umetick the 2 checkboxes za notifications ndio ukireceive info about amazing offers through newsletters. Na pia usijali, Lemfi hawatumagi hizi letters za, yani unajua like messages za kipumbavu. Pia usisahau every time una transact $50 and above una earn points. Na the more una transact, the more points you earn and you can redeem them as cash ile time unatuma pesa. Alafu pia kitu nanibamba kabisa ni saizi ukitumia Lemfi mzabaki umelipa pay bills na till numbers directly. That means mzabaki umehandle bills za maparo wako ukiwa hizo maside za States ama maside za Canada. Alafu pia we mwenyewe as a Lemfi user baki umetafuta ile button imeandikwa get USD $20, ubaki umeinvite mabeste zako, na ukiinvite mabeste zako on their first $100 transaction unapata pesa ngapi? $20 cashback. So unangoja nini? Baki umechangamka, ingia Lemfi. Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Ekonene.
So tumeteka commercial break which is Nyokabi Alicious. So you've seen her?
Aliposo. See, I know her, yeah.
So to me this is my favorite song of hers.
Nice,
Posa ya Bolingo, because it's about it's a love song, it's a heartbreak song. So in
Bolingo
the
is
song,
heart ama love?
yes, Bolingo is heart. Alafu sisi tukaiharibu. Did you get the joke?
No.
Oh.
I'm so confused, you guys. What?
Bolingo in
Sheng.
Bolingo. Oh, okay.
So in Nini it's heart.
Yes.
In Lingala ni heart. Alafu sisi Kenya tukamwa Z.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So kwa hii ngoma so kuna patio bongaga jio Range Rover. Unajua hiyo like so that's how I noticed how itamaga Range Rover.
Range Rover.
Yes. So there was that too. So that's alicious. Umfanya tukama commercial break. 560 episodes. Hatujawai. Because the fact
the
that
first time.
I think she'd be so good for NCR. She'd be perfect because she can sing, she can know. That's why I was surprised that
Beautiful.
because you know like all singers.
Kenya nini.
Itabidi come to Nyokabi Radio, please.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was talking about Jeyo kuwa broke. So so ulifanya nini about it? Did you apply more? Did you now decide let me switch up and do something different?
I think I was just like, okay, what else can I do with the talents that I have? And sasa something like hosting is when I realized, okay, this can be my money maker.
Okay.
And now I started taking it a bit more seriously in terms of that, because I was like, okay, I'm on set, maybe like the period between when I'm on set and when you get another job, like, sorry, my bad. I mean, when you're not on set, it's like you'll find yourself 8 months in a year, or like 6 months in a year you're on set, you're not on set, and then for 4 months you're on set. So what are you doing for the rest of the time?
Yes.
And so just trying to figure out other avenues of income and that kind of thing. Yeah, so I was just like, okay, I need to do something about it, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alafu pia nachikiapa ulendaga UK. What was the UK trip about?
So I went there twice. The first time it was Maliza High School. I got an opportunity, not high school, sorry, university. I got an opportunity and I was like, okay, let me go and check it out. So it was just, that one was more of a very casual visit, and then I did an internship at the time, and then the second time I went to study for music theatre.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How is it like studying music theatre, and why music theatre? Why not just theatre?
Because I love music, I love dancing, and I love acting, and music.
Okay.
And music theatre encompasses all of these disciplines. And so for me, it was just automatic that I wanted to be a better performer, but I wanted to be a better dancer, I wanted to be a better actor, I wanted to be a better singer, and I felt like this course really will equip me in all of these areas. So yeah, that's the reason I did music theatre. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And acting, like what type of things are you being taught at school? Because kisikia mtu you're being taught how to act, sisi tunaangalia like it's talent first.
Yes.
So it's very hard. Me, I've been in sets and then zile mean sets unaamba wewe buda mimi sijakuja nini kufunza kuact.
Yes.
So how
Yeah.
is acting school? Are you taught accents, emotions?
Yes. Actually, we are taught about accents. You're taught about how to, approach your character from the beginning. You're taught about how to take care of your body as an actor, because you see in your office. And so if you're not, this is literally everything revolves around your voice, your face, your body, those kind of things. It involves a lot of working out. Because as an actor you have to be able to do things with your with your hands, with your legs, those kind of things. You're taught about the business of acting now, especially now in the UK. Because yes, you can be so talented, you can know all of these things, but you also have to be aware about who is doing what in the industry. Who is running the theaters, if you wanted a job, who are you trying to go for their shows so that you can meet them and then try and strike a conversation with them. And so yeah, it was a lot of learning and unlearning things as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Umesema kitu poa sana hapo what juu ya image.
Yeah.
Because also you want to be casted with good roles.
Yeah, cast.
Yes.
Yeah. Because hiyo kitu vile umesema hivyo ndio nimenotice, like
Yes.
one of the things that amaze me about actors
Yeah.
ni that level of how they're able to lose weight and build weight. Kama kuna photos that were going around za The Rock. When someone sijui The Rock lost ni 30 pounds of muscle just for a role.
Yeah.
And also the Rock's life is all about muscle. So so kuna like a whole thing of take care of your body.
It's a whole thing. Like it's hard work, especially on stage. Stage is hard work because screen, it's all happening here. Unless you're doing some role with stunts and stuff like that, it's very chilled. It's very much on the face and very still. But with theater, my goodness, like for instance, with Index 1, the show that we're doing in December, when we did it in July, we would get rehearsal at 7 a.m. We would run around like the basketball court as we are singing so that you can get because you're on
there is a
stage singing
Lungs.
and dancing.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's a kubrit, okay.
And you're not able to do that if you're not, it's literally like training for a marathon.
So in other words unasema watu wanaona kaa sisi hatukuwa cast.
Oh no.
Hatukuwa cast.
No, like in fact, you know, let me tell you, plus size has nothing to do with like, especially you'll find such flexible people now plus size and very fit. So it has nothing to do with your body size. So long as you can commit to do like, move your body essentially regularly, especially before the show, you're good to go.
So many remind ile ngoma ya movie ya body. You going ndaje?
Which one?
There used to be a song called Movie Your Body. Yeah. Okay. I think there's even a
Move Your
reggae.
Body.
Yeah, Nini.
There's a
Move your
reggae
body
body.
like a snake, ma, like that. Shake your body like a grandma, like that.
Kuna mbili.
Ama move
Kuna
your
hiyo-
body, I don't know.
kuna hiyo reggae move your body body move your body body, but apart from that kulikuwa na ingine ya funk back in the days. Step it up, step it in,
Oh,
that hizo kulikuwa na
Yeah.
move your body
I
fulani.
see.
That's
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
kulikuwa na hizo siku, so vile umesema hiyo move your body, I was like okay, yeah, those are the days. Alafu pia ati you experienced racism kioko?
Sasa now, especially as someone who's grown up in a predominantly black community, society, there's a lot of things that just shock you when you're there because you don't understand why someone would treat you a different way because of your skin color. And yeah, there were a lot of moments where for instance I was the only black person in my class, so even in terms of like hata uwezi fanya hivi mtu unasema yeah, like uwezi, the way you're in a forum and you'll guza someone, you're like seriously what have they said. You can't be able to do that because no one else
Does that
technically relates to what they're saying. For instance, there's a time my lecturer brought a Nigerian song in class, and it was one of the first few days that we had just started school, and then he comes to me, he's like, oh, Nyokabi, so I have this Nigerian song, do you know what it means? And stupidly in that moment I literally thought about it for like a second. I'm like no, I don't know. But in that moment, first of all, you're new in school, everyone is trying to just find their footing, and you're kind of anxious and nervous all the time, and you're always answering on your on the go and stuff like that. And like if you think about it, that's like someone asking you if you know what a Rwandese song means because you're in East Africa or something like that.
Yes.
Or if you like, I would pose the same question to him and say, oh, do you know what this Italian song means? Like, I don't think in their minds it makes sense that Africa is a whole continent. And you see, for them, I guess then we would translate this, we would ask the same question, do you know what this Italian song means? Because now all of you are in Europe, right?
Yeah.
But it's the very small microaggressions that would happen, even like in terms of our class. I had we had a unit called audition, an auditioning unit, and they would bring guys from outside, from the industry, to come and just give us an opinion of what, where you'll fit in the industry and stuff like that. And I remember when I finished my piece, literally the first thing that this lady says is like, oh my goodness, your English is so good. Where did you start learning English? Is it when you came into this country? And she was very serious about it, by the way. She was just like, how are you speaking? It's like they look at you and they think you are going to speak like this, that. And obviously as Kenyans we have a very thick accent.
Yes.
But in that context, it's a little bit demoralizing when that's the first question you ask, and I've just performed my heart out and I have belted my voice out from here to Timbuktu. So there's
Hapana chiki unaweza chapa hiyo accent. Kwa nini huko amua tu kurudi kaa Nyokafi but Nyokafi anaongea hivyo? Because you can actually do it. And it's
yeah,
really
you
good.
switch it on once in a while, but you know when you need to, it's sasa if I kuongea hivi na Kenya wenzaka, you know. So yeah.
But you know that can get you a job at one of these local radio stations so fast. Watakutoa kwa gari to a real studio.
So hivyo ni mimi umesema Nyokafika radio ni change accent.
Just say good
Why not
morning.
just use that?
Kwisha, I'm coming for you.
Because I'm the sort of person who believes that if you can make money from it,
Yeah.
make money from it.
Might
So
as
why,
well.
why haven't you tried that?
I think it's I mean I do it on stage. If you can come and watch Index 1 you can hear it. But I think it's just you know when you're there you miss speaking Swahili so much.
Yes.
You miss speaking like this so much, and then you end up having the accent, acquiring the accent only because every time you speak someone is like, sorry, what have you said? Like they don't hear it because as Kenyans we speak like this and we articulate every word that we say.
Yes, and every letter.
Every letter. But you know, if you have to think about their accent, it's like you're gliding, right? They're not always pronouncing out their words, and so there's always like a communication breakdown of, sorry, what did you say? You know, that kind of thing. But when you're at home, you really, I remember when I came back I was like, oh, finally I can speak Swahili. And when you're there, sometimes you even forget, you start speaking Swahili, you're like, sorry, especially when you're trying to gossip, you know, when you're just in like outside and you are trying to
High slap.
huwezi fanya ono huyo, you know. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't, I remember one time I'm with my friend and I'm trying to tell him something about something that I've just seen. Yes. It was actually Spanish. I'm trying to tell him something about what this person has just done, but they're close by. But you know, when it's like you gotta listen, you gotta see the action now. And then I'm like, did you just see? And then he goes like, sorry, what do you did you just touch me? No, that's not how it works. It needs to be a cut up over there, and you look like we communicate in very subtle ways, you know. And so it's those small things that I would miss. So anyway, to answer your question, I think when you're at home, it's a feeling of belonging. I think as human beings, we are always chasing that feeling of belonging.
Yes.
And once you now start speaking like, I was in London, like 5 years ago, it's a little bit weird, to be honest. And you want to speak with your people, you want to be with your people. But yeah, you know, you switch it up whenever you need to.
Mi naeza kuwa pale tu niko Kabira FM. Alafu nikitoka huko nje niko ni aje mpaka ile time sana pata yani nakuangalia wewe buda. That's my radio character. Because I think for a very long time kulikuwa na that wave of accents hapa Kenya.
Yeah.
And it stayed for so long. Alafu the fact that capital used to be the shit. Najizo siku, especially before the internet. So everyone used to feel like I have to have a foreign accent for me to make it. So I always say that that's one of the most beautiful things the Mongai Eves did. Mongai Eve and I'll give Lynn. Because they came with very Kenyan accents, yes?
Yeah.
And made it so big that sasa tuka realize that, damn, people don't care about accents. People just want good content.
Tambo, like, if you didn't have that light tongue, kwanza kusoma news. Nakumbuka. There's this Nini Demo News station used to work. So alikuwa nasoma. And then it was a launch of, you know, alikuwa ni program ya kufight malaria. So the project was dubbed Mbu Inje Sisi Ndani. Mbu Inje Sisi. He was speaking during the Mbu Inje Sisi Ndani.
Oh shit.
So every time hata nikipiga robo nimwambia Mbu Inje Sisi Ndani.
Anajua.
But I understand.
I think that's the bullshit. If you can switch it up, because kama Capital, ushasikiza Capital FM, there are these girls who read news and I always find them to be very interesting. Because wataanza tu kama my name is Nyokabi Macharia. Hapo hiyo Nyokabi Macharia itakamna na accent ya Kisaperi. Alafu switches back to ile accent ingine. Yes. I respect that more than uanze
kutohoa.
Yeah, hizo vitu za.
Yes.
It's not like it's your name. Don't start to wang it.
Even mosquitoes were
mosquitoes.
Sisindani.
Yes.
Love that. I'm gonna take that. Sisi ndani.
Hapo najua kitu funny like when you're talking about speaking English
Yeah.
Yes.
still mi tupendaga stand-up comedy sana so but there's a stand-up comedian alikuwa anasema that hajai understand how English is the most spoken language in the world ama even if it's the
Most
second
popular.
wasotasema that French is spoken more but it's debatable najua not French Chinese it's debatable because Chinese is just China so the size of England do you know how small England is?
No, please tell me. In terms of
England
square
is
kilometers?
less than a quarter of Kenya
Wow.
and this is the most spoken language in the world like you can take the whole of Britain now the whole of Britain and fit it into Kenya 2.5 times
Crazy.
and this is the most spoken inakuonyeshaga vile if with weapons watu wataongea Kiswahili kwa hii world zako tunaingia US kutoka leo ni Kiswahili and then they start
It comes with pride because nakumbuka hata Ricky Gervais
yeah
ni Ricky Gervais ama ni Ricky Gervais si mwita Gervais alikuwa anasema I don't understand ati you understand watu wakisema ati they don't understand English if you go to Paris just speak English ikushinda speak louder kama wasiki smash the whole place up. So I think pia English wanakujanga na pride fulani like this is the best form of communication to shake come up nayo it has helped us win wars get colonies so
yeah and that's your mother tongue that's commendable like if it's your mother tongue and everyone is speaking it because your great ancestor was a fucker just went through the world akiforce wase alafu nini the bald look is it inakuwaga intentional inakuwaga is it a statement ama is just fashioned?
I actually shaved my shaved my head for a role. When I shaved it bald, we were doing sketchy Africans, and I was like, well, I asked the director, I was like, what do you think if I had shaved my head for this role? And at first he was like, no. Then he was like, actually, let's go with it. And then when after I shot, I was like, actually I want to keep the bald look a little bit. Yeah, so I kept it and experimented and put henna on my head and stuff like that.
Alafu now you just stuck with it
Yes.
Yeah, alafu pia tuko tunabonga je two early for birds. So two early for birds brazen ni gani? Brazen was it the one about Tomboya?
No, Brazen was about the women. So it was an all women's
it's
edition.
The all women one, yes. Nani told us about it. Yes. Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was such a wonderful experience. I think also just having people like Zarina Patel who came. Martha Karua also showed up for the show.
Is the one that had was it a former Mamwa or something?
Yes. Field Marshal Modoni.
Yes.
So she came for the show and she literally was like, the day Kenya truly achieves independence, I'm going to shave my dreadlocks, at the time. And it was just a very spiritual experience and very special to have an opportunity to play heroes that have been there before, because it was talking about stories like Wangu Amakeri, again Zarina Patel, there was Nandi Girl, there was a couple of Field Marshal herself, so it was a very special experience.
Okay. Yeah, and alafu pia niko na cheki online wanabonga juu ya opening night mishap.
Yeah.
What happened, Con?
So on that night, so first on that week, the show week for Brazen was the first week of rehearsal for Tinga Tinga the musical.
Okay.
Which Nikina Eric Wainaina walikuwa nafanya, she rehearsed, was producing, and it was a really big show at the time. And we would come in for rehearsals from like 8 a.m. up until 4 p.m. And then Too Early for Birds, I would go for Too Early for Birds at like 5-6 p.m. So my days were like really, really full. And then on Thursday night, we went up until 3 a.m. because we were doing tech for Too Early for Birds.
Yes.
So I've been singing the whole day. And then nimemaliza rehearsal yangu 3 p.m. But at 8 a.m., I'm going back to Tinga Tinga so that I can come back for 4 p.m. and because we have a show at 7 p.m. here Too Early for Birds. And so I was extremely exhausted, number one. That's the context of this whole thing. And then secondly, tech, we didn't do tech that well. And tech and dress rehearsal is when you're supposed to know, okay, nyi mtanifunga, okay, those are the times we are supposed to figure out what are the problems with the costume and with the tech, blah, blah. So me, I'm doing my thing. And then kidogo, I was doing like a movement thing. Kidogo, nasikia tu kuna kaupepo. I'm like,
oh, shit.
Na sasa ninafanya ka movement hivi nikiinama. Nashanga, ako kaupepo kametoka wapi? And nikiamka hivi juu, my boob is literally just like, hey, what's up?
It's called a Janet Jackson moment.
Yo.
Boobs ziko zimetingatingwa.
Yo. Good one. I'm telling you, nilisimama tu hivi, and then so the final movement was me looking at the audience and just standing there. Thankfully, my director was very much like, oh my God, switch off the lights, like uko nyuma. So basically, when I left the stage, because I had a kaleso, it was just halfway there and like half of my boob.
Martha Karua alikuwa kwa audience?
I don't know if she was there for that particular show, but yes. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then within the same show, I literally had a blackout moment there. I remember that day, kuna wimbo nilikuwa naimba ikakata, like hiyo song imekata. So there was literally 5-7 seconds of silence as I wait for my Nini. And then when I'm doing that choreography, unaona vile kwa movie kuna kuagana mtu amesimama and there's a spotlight and there's you know that, have you seen one of those scenes?
Yeah.
That's literally what I experienced. My brain just shut down because I was so tired. I was so fatigued. So even all of these things are happening, and still nasikia ni kama like I'm just fighting for my life on that stage. So yeah, it was a very dramatic night, but that's why we love theater.
Damn.
But they got what they paid for.
That is
More
why
than-
we love it.
Alafu najua ni zile za Chris Rock. Amependa quote Chris Rock, family tiri, community tiri.
Wow.
Yeah,
I had a
he was
miss-up.
joking about that.
I had a miss up. I think, I don't know, maybe was it last week part 1?
One of your nuts was left outside. Kuda usitupatie hiyo
So
story.
Tell us.
hata amechange post.
Go on.
So mi metoka hapa, so FC unajua ukimaliza nini unaenda washroom kama nini unataka kutravel, don't want hizo manini za katikati. So tumetoka hapa, nimerush washroom and I think I was on a phone call, so nimeka loudspeaker. So kumaliza kuflash ID nikatoka tu na haraka, niko town hapo nipata Hilton. Yeah, niache hey, you have a podcast na nini, campus for a photo. So najua nimeshuka tu bus like 5 minutes ago. Nimefika hapo, nimepause. So ndio time nimesimama. Nikisimama na feel
Kuna kabaridi.
kuna kabaridi.
Na shindo ni gani hizi?
So all the way sasa niko karibu na where Galitos is, ama that is square yetu ya Nairobi.
Yes.
Naona maybe this baridi is too much. Kuangalia my fly was open. Luckily
Na mtu alipiga nawe picha kuambia?
no, I don't know, sijui kama pia aliona because ilikuwa usiku.
Oh, shit.
Man, so mkiona picha yangu kwa nje
Na ka fly kako
with another dude, atuko tumetoka session.
Anza shindo
Well, I
ni
didn't
gani?
think that until you said it.
Because ni kama maybe tulikuwa tumemaliziana kwa kona and then
Kasema
now
wacha tuingie
let's
kabisa.
take a photo to remember this day.
You'll
It was
definitely
funny.
remember it now.
Like, it's funny. Luckily siko na zile boxes niko na kuambia Tina iko na kabaton hapa. So sasa now
Yeah, hizo
big
za
one
kwa-
of my- yeah.
za kwa nini alafu najua
Lapping
nini
nuts.
vile amesema hivyoameniremind kitu moja ile waga someone was telling us about how states
Yeah.
life inakuaga serious design if a kid notices that and points
Guy.
that your fly is open, that's enough for you to end up on the sex offender list.
Oh, wow.
Na inaweza kuwa accidental
Must-
kwa hiyo make
yeah,
mistake
like that,
ukwe
yo.
siku hizi vile watu wanafanya vitu za ajab ati unaamua tu komando
Yes.
yeah. Inakuaga nani ile nane komando what's his name Kilo Max kwa
Programmatin, yes.
I think kuna pale usemaga hiyo kitembea hapo alafu ikwe kana swing if a kid sees it
Yeah.
sex offender list.
I like how they take seriously like such crimes.
Basi unajua inaweza kuwa ile accidental
Inaweza
tu,
kuwa
right?
accidental for sure.
Like huko wezi end up kwa Masai culture unaweza ruka hivi alafu ibaki huko mtoyone nuts. Mami nuts. Story zako zimeishia hapo.
Yeah.
Alafu so hii tingatinga mliperform mpaka New York Victory Theatre.
Yes.
So how many shows was it? Just like how many shows, how many weeks?
We did 2 weeks and then we do a show I think from Wednesday up until Sunday. So those are what, like probably 8 shows per week.
Yes. Ilikuwa mbili.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah,
And how was it?
at some point, it was beautiful. I mean, experiencing this is something that I had always thought about Broadway. It would be nice to perform at Broadway. And then you get to do it at like 23 and you're like, wow, this is so dope. And at the time you're doing it with people who are like the legends in the industry, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Eric Wainaina, Atemi, Chris Adwar, and it was beautiful to be thrown into such a highly professional environment. And also just seeing the kind of systems that they have over there compared to how we facilitate our things here. So that was it was such a beautiful experience.
Na mlipatiwa tu nini? Walipatiwa tu visa tu hivyo, kupata visa si ndio inakuwa shida na hizi vitu. I think even Trump alikuwa anatishia watu next year World Cup. The visas are not guaranteed.
Yeah, but I think these guys found a way, and if we are saying we're exporting our talent and all of those things, I think there's a little bit of walielewana. Like a marriage once again. I think that's the theme for today.
Oh, okay.
You let this go.
Well, which is good. As long as Nyokabi electricity because you bado hujamarika, si ndio?
No.
Because una plan, is it something you want in the future?
Yes.
If you do it, just STFU, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I know you want to share. Hata akikuja, please share.
Yeah.
You know this time we're in London.
Share.
Oh my God.
Cheki. Alafu iko like cheki akutolezile, it's in your past, doesn't matter. Usidanganyike. It matters.
Ni nyamaze. It's a trap. It's
I used to go to church, then I go home.
It's like when a babe asks you, okay, so how many girls? Tell me about it, the colleague at work or something like that. Yeah.
I want to be mad. Just Sisi, you don't want to open that Pandora's box. It gets ugly so fast. Tashindwa mtu. See, the same thing watu shindagwa, like at how can a man disown? A man will raise a kid for 15 years.
Yeah.
Find out the kid is not his and move out and never deal with that kid again. And you'll be there like, how?
How now?
Dudes are just, we are strange like that. And so to go back to hapa, ni pia uli direct a book and its cover as your thesis. So alafu kasema ilikuwa flop. So a book and its cover, wacha tuanze na the famous phrase, never judge a book by its cover. I find that to be a bullshit phrase, ama? Like you can judge a book by its cover. Kama imeandikwa tu vizuri hapa. Nude photos. Alafu uko like, watu wamevaa wako uchi. You can judge a book by its cover, I think. Ama?
But you can, because it's human of you to make an impression the minute you meet someone, right?
Yes.
But that's not all there is to them, for sure. Yes.
I think shidangu knew this phrase itself, never judge a book by its cover.
But it's not
if it's a book,
yes.
I'm covering, like unacheki hivyo.
Well, you're taking it in the literal sense.
Yes. Like hapo wahenga wangetumia kitu ingine, never judge a man by his clothes. Okay, makes sense.
But a book,
but
fair
a
enough.
book. So kwa nini ilikuwa flop? Like what happened?
So to put a little bit of context, first of all, thank you so much for asking me about a book and its cover. That's my most precious work, but no one knows about it. So thank you very much.
Okay.
You're
welcome.
I love it very much. So anytime I hear someone knows about it, I'm like, wow, thanks. You know that thing, unajua kama msanii, kuna vitu zenye unapenda, alafu kuna vitu zenye watu audience yako wanapenda.
Yes.
And most of the time it's never the same thing. Anyway, So to give a little bit of context of what that piece was, it's a scene from Frankenstein. Are you guys familiar with Frankenstein?
Yes.
So I had watched an adaptation of it at the National Theatre in the UK. During COVID, walikuwa wanaeka hizo productions out for free on YouTube. So I watched it on YouTube.
Yes.
And I was very curious. I was like, it's interesting how these roles, like how these guys have played the roles, as men. And I wondered, does the dynamic change if we gave women the same roles? So we didn't change the dialogue, we didn't change the what, because it was about a creator and its creation. And so in my head, I'm like, that's practically a mother and a baby. So what would that dynamic look like if we gave women those same roles that these men have played? And it was played by Benedict Cumberbatch and I think it was Johnny Lee Miller. And it was a beautiful, beautiful production. Anyway, so I wanted to approach it. As a director, I'm very experimental. Even as an actor, I like things that stretch me physically. I like to, as a director, give me the challenge of creating a plane with my body. Does that make sense? Like, instead of bringing the plane and putting a plane here, how can I make a table with my body? How can we use actors to create a table on stage as opposed to having a physical table? Anyway, so I wanted to approach it with a very abstract style, meaning you have to find things out. It's not a lazy Nini. Like, as an audience member, you have to discover things. It could mean anything. It could mean whatever you want it to mean, right? And so, this was my first time. Okay, it was my second time directing, but then I was directing it over Zoom. Because remember, COVID had just hit and there was no way to create things. So I was like, And then people had not started doing things online. But sasa huko UK, watu walishaanza kufanya online. So for me, it was almost a regular thing. We were already doing classes online, etc. So I told my teacher, okay, how about I direct a scene, but I'll direct it over Zoom. So my team was in Kenya, but I was in the UK. Alafu nina direct. Alafu najua hizo matimes Zoom ilikuwa 40 minutes, alafu ina nini?
Inabidi mtafute link ingine. Haya, kuna internet problems as well. Haya, remember it's also my first time directing. And then that show would be ilikuwa ishutiwe one take. It's a 20-minute thing and it had to be one take. Yes.
So hakuna ati cut in between. So anyway, I did it, and for the most part people didn't get what I was trying to do, honestly. Kulikuwa tu na ile alafu najua na ile expectation ya Nyokabi Macharia is doing a show online and she's directed it over Zoom, so we had really hyped that his story made directiwa over Zoom. People have not seen this before. People want to see how we creating over Zoom and stuff. So it had a lot of hype before the show, where after the show, silence. People are not talking about it. That's how you know. That's how you know it's like either they didn't like it. Afadhali hata mtu hate on it, because at least they got something out of it.
I could get at a hate.
So like no one is hating on it.
Yeah.
No one is. I mean, there were some, at least the ones who hated on it were not vocal about it, right? So no one.
Just complete silence.
No one cared about it. And it was just like, gosh, hamku get. And I even did a focus group after. And that's when I got to understand, the vision really did not translate, But years later, I think it was last year, I did a show called Diverse.
Okay.
It was a poetry show. And that for me was literally like, this is what I was trying to do with the book and its cover. I just did not have the know-how at the time. But Diverse was like, it was abstract, but people got it. Like, people understood what we were trying to do with the staff and how the actors were doing stuff. And it was very well written, to be honest, by Ngatia, who is actually one of the co-founders for Too Early for Birds. And for me now, Diverse was literally the thing to younger Nyokabi, like, this is what you're trying to do. You just didn't know how to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but hizi vitu pia najua, if you don't try out and fail, nasemaga like failure is what takes you to the next level.
Absolutely.
Alafu Actors Anonymous ilikuwa a one woman show. So majuzi pia tulikuwa na, what's her name? Jemima. Auntie Jemima.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
I love
So
her.
how's that a one woman show? Like, how what are you doing on stage? Because I'm seeing like you performed different characters, yes?
Yes. So Actors Anonymous was a show that I did just before I left the UK.
Okay.
And it was essentially ni kama napendaga kufanya mashows about my experience, but yeah, it really
that's the best.
Yeah, it's Actors Anonymous was an expression of someone who has moved outside of home, and you're in a different country, and of course the expectations from home are like ukishaenda majuu make it. That's hiyo ndio inakoga assumption.
Yes.
And then now as an immigrant you find so many dynamics over there, right? There's so many opportunities that you're also locked out of. There's visa restrictions. There's for instance, as a student in the UK I could only work for 20 hours, so also financially kuna vile mumeni lock, right?
Yes.
Kuna opportunities zingine that you're not able to pursue, and it's just it was the expression of how systemically some of these things can just sort of make you not achieve the things that you are looking to achieve. But also now that versus the expectations of now I'm coming back, and there's like, chatuone sasa umefanya nini, are you a better actor, number one? There's expectations from the industry. I remember when I came back and I had just gotten onto the set of Selena, and I was so nervous because people are trying to see nini uko nayo sasa.
Umetoka Britain.
Sasa umesomea hii kitu, hebu tuonyeshe. And like that can even make you just the fear paralyzes you even. And I keep saying acting is relaxing. If you're not relaxed, you're not able to give your best. And so I was just like, hata mi najishuku nini nimerudi nayo, and so it was just expressing the fears that you have as an immigrant, but also just as someone who's coming back home, and there's all of these things that you have to deal with, and we recorded the show, so so we were streaming the show live, so you could watch. People at home were watching, but also like I'm literally in the space doing it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alafu ni co-founder wa Shots from Africa. So
Correct.
Shots from Africa is it a film production company?
Yes, it's a film and theater company.
Okay.
Yes. And I co-own it with Nice Givinji, the actor.
Okay. Nice namjua.
Yes.
Nice. Unajua nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we started by doing short plays during COVID, and obviously now at the time she was here and I was in the UK, so that's how we started doing short plays on Instagram.
Okay.
And then now when I came back, we're like, okay, so do we actually put up the shows? And then now we started doing theater shows. And then Pole Pole, we did short films, and so we just evolved as time went by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alafu pia ulishindaga ni best lead actress.
Yes.
2022. Which movie was this?
This was Chaguo.
Oh, Chaguo. What's
Yes.
Chaguo about?
Chaguo was the classic sort of Romeo and Juliet story, but now if you were to put it in a Kenyan context, it's the forces that they're fighting is the tribal wars, because it's a guy from a Luo family and a lady from, we didn't really specify the tribes of the family,
Murima.
but it's the classic. If you were to talk about a tribal Nini in Kenya, the two tribes that come to your mind most probably is the Luo and
Ziwa na Murima.
Exactly.
Batan.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just showing that love supersedes everything, all of these things. So these two people would bring
Breaks boundaries.
together. It breaks boundaries and tribes, really.
Alafu index 1 sinajua tukisikia index 1
Yeah.
the first thing that comes to mind ni chuo.
Correct.
Kulikuwaga na index 1.
Yes.
Alafu sasa kulikuwa na sisi zile index what the fuck.
Yes.
So sisi watu wa index what the fuck tunashindwa, umeamua tu kutupeleka back to
Trauma.
school trauma.
It's interesting that
Index 165
kwa nini mko
hata.
traumatized? Amkuwa good in school ama ni amku enjoy school?
Yeah, I don't know if I was good in school. Yangu it's up for debate. Like cause nilikuwa pia na kwa shule ya manads. So I don't even
Which
remember
school?
my index. Nilikuwa starch. I don't remember my
see.
index was what.
I see.
But from 3 I played around. I fucked around and I found out. So index yangu ilikuwa huko mwisho. I think we had like 216 students. I think my index was like one
Right.
something. Was it 170 something?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, ilikuwa huko chini.
Oh,
For I had to be serious.
Okay.
But sasa ilikuwa inasemekana that someone who's marking your exam can look at your index number and judge you.
yeah.
So I think mi nilikuwa judged harshly.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wow, mi nilikuwa index 1 65.
pia mi ni index 1
Yeah.
so it did. Okay.
love it.
Makes
But
sense.
sasa now like kwetu if you did kama ulikuwa unafanyia nini exam zako kwa hall,
Yeah.
sasa hall ndio ilikuwaga sisi tumemaliza paper
Yeah.
nao bado hajamaliza zao zijachukuliwa, so like best grades zilikuwa zinatoka huko
Kwa
hall. Sasa hizo
Nyinyi wengine
zingine
mlikuwa
sasa
wapi?
tuko kwa classes. So ulikuwa unajua tu even the rest of the school kisikia tu maybe form 4 wamemaliza paper yao.
Yeah.
They're looking forward to kama watu wenye toka hall wako na stress because sisi tulikuwa tunatoka tukicheka
Mnacheka hiyo yote.
na ni kem
Yeah. Wow.
hao wengine wanatoka wako so serious like see, there was nothing serious in it but it didn't mean that we were stupid but
Yeah.
No, not at
me I blame it on hata mi ucheka because most of the things even tukirevisit hizi topics za chuo kwa sasa wife alikuwa chop alikuwa chop but sasa tukirevisit mimi ndo namkumbusha most of the stuff ako like ulikuwa index
Nashindwa ni gani?
yes
'Cause
It's
index
all
ilikuwa ya
about
kuchoma.
huku mnafunzwa tu kukram
Yeah.
mimi zile vitu alikuwa naleta kwa paper just didn't feel like wamecoin too much
So index 1 why call it that?
So,
And does it have anything to do with school?
it does. So we anytime I look at my journey as an actor, as a performing artist, it feels like I'm excelling, but actually the journey is defined by every time for me to get to that point where you feel like I've excelled. It's always like there's 3 failures behind
Yes.
it. There's 3 things that have pulled me behind. But all you get to see as an audience is, oh, Nyokabi Radio is doing well. But by the time it is doing well, my goodness, locations, sijui imefanya nini, oh, simu. Like by the time you actually get to see that clip, there are so many failures behind it. There's so many hurdles that we have had to go through, right? But then that's what success is. It's like you said it's failing and failing
Yes.
until now you get
figure
the
it out.
thing right. You figure it out, right? And we felt like this resonated a lot with, we wanted something that, because the show essentially is going back and looking back at my journey. We wanted something that a millennial would see and instantly relate to. Because as you said, when you see Index 1, there's something that almost everyone in this country knows about index numbers, right? But also at the same time, we wanted to give it a different meaning because, again, you've said Index 1 gives you that trauma because you think of the teacher's pet, you think of, all the people who are excelling in school, but we want it to have a different meaning, which is, what are you good at today? What are you index 1 in today? Because that's what matters. Because a lot of us were told, wewe ni mjinga, hutawahi kuwa engineer. Na hizo akili wewe hakuna mahali utafika wewe. A lot of us have stories of, certain teachers that said some comments that did not sit well with us or followed us throughout our high school lives. But now this show is trying to bring you back to that thing that you love and you're good at.
Okay.
For instance, ulikuwa unataka kuwa nini?
by the way
Damn, nikiwa chuo.
Yeah.
Yangu ili evolve. But as a kid, funny enough, I wanted to be a banker.
Right.
Why? Because I loved numbers. Yes.
Okay.
Then in high school, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. I even did you go into electricity, your exam.
Yeah.
I actually did electricity. I've always loved science to a certain level.
Right.
But then grade zangu zikakata because time yetu ilikuwa hard kunini because I think squeeze with B+ you can get a lot of stuff that you want. My B+ nilirushwa tu kwa Bachelor of Science to general.
Yeah.
Ended up doing mathematics and chemistry. So that's what I have a degree in. Have I ever used it? No. I've
Interesting.
not used it. Do I regret? Not really, because I also think it campo ili ni open ya other doors. Like I think I ended up in the media space because of campus. So there's that. But kuna hiyo trauma ya, but I'm also happy that never worked out. I love my life right now. I wouldn't unajua kuna wasomezoea hiyo routine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like kama even the day of the shoot I was worried about maybe ukiwa na shida yote alafu you call me before 10 autanipata niko mteja acheki for a lot of people that's weird like mteja so mi nakwaga mtu wa 10 ndio naamka niko like so I try to imagine a situation whereby I have to be in the office at 8 so I'm also happy that didn't work out so I think hiyo pia ni something for people like just because you want something in school if it doesn't work out it's okay at least you studied something you love which is beautiful you know and you can see someone can see from the things that you do you do things that zimetoka from where which is a beautiful thing to see.
Na wewe ulikutaka kwa nini?
Funny thing nilikuwa nataka ku astronomer. I was always fascinated na
the name us Dr. Dre I get more us than an astronaut.
Yes, I get it.
He misunderstood that sentence.
So I was widely fascinated na planets and how existence of
Interesting.
people na nini na even if you look at zile episodes niko na watch like star stuff the nini and that's why I loved Neil deGrasse like way back it was 2009 ama 2010
Neil deGrasse was
nilikuwa nazichora I used to draw all the 9 planets and then naziname so after that I got a very boring geography teacher so I ended up teaching geography so and sasa nikachukua history and stuff like that so nilikuwa nataka kuwa researcher at some point so nilikuwa nataka tu kuona tu maybe just try curious to just digging around maybe unearthing vitu zenye watu wajanini it's a form of geology now but now people's lives so at some point I also wanted to be on radio.
Interesting.
Fun because I loved music so
maybe I wanted to be on radio
kuna time sasa nilikuwa na feel hii ngoma ni kali sana but the people around me are juu so nilikuwa like can I actually be in a place I'm a platform and I'm introducing people to music and maybe even how we met some things align too
vitu align
ilikuwa tu ni music it was a music event so yes now here we are
okay.
I
so
love that.
We of course you always wanted to do film and
Actually,
that
no.
industry.
Me at a point, nikiwa mdogo, I wanted to be a lawyer. You know how at the time it was either lawyer, engineer, or accountant.
Yes. Lawyer, engineer, doctor.
Bas, doctor is the right
daktari
one, in
lazima
fact.
ikuwe.
So I thought, me, I want to be a lawyer because, my dad was like, hey, unapenda kuargue sana. So probably a lawyer is the best thing. And then at some point, when my mom used to take me to the salon, I used to be so fascinated by how people tell stories in the salon. So at some point, my dream was to be a saloonist.
Kusikiza moshene.
I was just like, it's such a cool place to be. Like, people just wake up and then they come, wanashukana tu wakichapa. I was like, that sounds like that feels like a really good life. And then now when I was supposed to go to KU and do economics and statistics. That's what I was called to do in KU. But then we found this scholarship opportunity in Daystar. So that's how I ended up in Daystar.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So Index 1, you're doing it the second time sasa saizi?
Yes, we are doing it the second time.
Yeah. So I think about to explain here like more about it and then tell us more about the first time and now why the second time.
Yes. I think my biggest, it wasn't really a surprise because I think we sort of were intentional about it in the writer's room. But my biggest blessing with Index 1 is it's the response that people would come with. It's how people would say, like, I really forgot that I like riding bikes. Because again, the show is calling you to literally go back. For instance, for you, I'm curious to know how can you go back to like astronomy and exploring the things that you liked. And because you said it yourself, we pick up dreams along the way that we really have no business doing. But it's just because, society ilisema CPA, ukitoka high school, fanya CPA, 1, 2, nini, and then you end up being an accountant. Then you realize, I actually do not enjoy being an accountant. I just do this because I want to and that kind of thing. And so there were such raw moments during the first show. Like literally, you guys, it was like a church. honestly ilikuwa tu ni kama to test because we have a part in the show where we ask the audience about what they wanted to be when they were children, and you realize as adults all of us have such innocent dreams. We all had, you know, imaginations of what our lives would be, and then there's what we have today, right? And it was a very honest moment of just experiencing other humans away from, you know, this is a beautiful theatrical experience.
Yes.
It was such a grounding moment for both the cast members and the audience to experience each other at a way it felt like we had all just put our guards down.
Yes.
And I remember there's a guy who said, you know, and there's a section where we ask people, what are the small things that make you happy? For instance, when you have when you have a great episode and that made you happy on that day,
Yes.
and we're calling it a hug from God. That's the phrase that we are using, right? Or my daughter kissed me in the morning before I left, and that really put a smile on my face. And we would ask that. And I remember this lady said, you know, it's when her daughter comes back from school every day, and when she sees her, it's just like that literally completes her day. There's a guy who was talking about how he was going through a suicidal period, and then his child was born. For some reason I'm revolving around children, but his child was born, and literally that completely shifted his mind space at the time. And he was just saying how his wife was there for him, and the wife was sat there, and we were all just like, oh my God, this is so cute, you guys, you know. And it was I think the most amazing thing about this show is that every show is different, because every audience has a different experience. So even for us as cast members, we get to hear these stories for the first time for each show, and no show can be the same because, you know, it's a different
audience.
It's a different audience. And so I think this was it really is a show that calls you back to your dreams as a person. You get to see my story, but actually eventually you go back asking yourself, na by the way, mbona niliacha kufanya nini this and this, you know, mbona niliacha kufanya I liked computers, for instance. How did I end up in this? And so I think that's my most proud thing about what we've achieved with the show.
Okay.
It's interesting. Now vile
Yeah.
umesema hivyo,
Yeah.
I wonder what, you know, Index 1 was to my parents.
Right.
Yes, maybe it's just your time, there was no room to become who you want to be, but I'm sure they had dreams.
Exactly.
I think vile tu lisema pia the universe aligns, because mi nikiangalia from since I was a kid, always loved music and always wanted to share the music I was listening to, because I was the sort of guy who listens to weird music. So I used to listen to reggae before reggae was cool. Right now reggae is cool. Watu wengine watakata. Then started listening to hip hop, and ended up with a hip hop show. Acheki. Like it's inakwaga interesting, because I'll be the sort of person takachi na mtu and I'm listening to music, and like I can play 5 songs, I'll just skiza 4 songs. I've never even heard of that artist. Because we're saying, like I always say that for Kenyans in Britain, there's a guy I know from Nigerian parents but born and raised in Britain, Jacob Banks. Do you know him?
No.
You're going to love him.
Yeah.
Because I know you love singing. You're going to love Jacob Banks. And one of the things I love about Jacob Banks, after two Jacob Banks Unknown to You, that was a very big single of his.
Okay.
And look at his performances. You'll see like 5 performances, and every time it's different.
Interesting.
And the other thing pele ni bamba ni, there's something that I think it's called Don't Grow Up on Me. And when he's performing, so this is this part where he talks about my afro, nini, and it's a white girl and she's singing along about her afro.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is interesting. So Jacob Banks, I think you love Jacob Banks.
Yeah.
You the way you love singing.
Yeah.
Try to imagine.
Nimemtafuta ukiona mahali Nyokafika radio ujue ni wewe.
Yeah. Like Jacob, alafu koza kitu nibamba tu nikisikia Nigerian parents. I know like this Africa produced this. Najua like wagena ni jazz sana. So nini so when is it happening? There's a new one, is?
Yes, 13th and 14th of December.
Okay.
And when is this episode coming out? Can we announce our surprise?
Yeah. It's coming out like Coming out on Wednesday.
Wednesdays to be on.
Okay.
26.
Wednesday, yes.
Okay. So we're switching it up a little bit. There's a role called Jonte in the show. And we are gonna get some of your favorite musicians to play the
okay.
role. So you've seen them singing, but have you seen them acting while singing?
Okay, damn. Okay.
Ah, okay.
And we have some very, very exciting people
Nena
playing
happen
it.
happy?
Ina happen at Brayburn on the 13th and 14th of December. You can get your tickets at wagtickets.com or mook.com.
Okay, WAG.
Yes.
Wives and girlfriends.
Listen, if that makes you sleep at night, yes. Wives and girlfriends, tickets.co.ke.
Najaga nini.
Wow.
But are you also now launching your music career?
Yes.
Because you can sing, man. There's some nini mko mnafanya. Was it with Zaitun? There's something you're doing in the car.
Yeah.
I was there like, damn, half there's this other video of you doing a South African song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, this girl can
These
sing.
are Congolese one. Mapesi,
Yeah.
Makoma. Kwanza they're coming
Makoma,
next year, by the way. Ebu mniite Makoma we.
Yeah, so that's the name. So why, finally, what had kept you? Was it fear?
Yeah, I am around so many brilliant musicians, and I mean brilliant. So yangu inafilingi kama child's play. When you are like with the giants and giants surrounding you, unafeel kama wewe unaimba this is how I think I sound, at least when I'm around them. So I think there's a little bit of fear for sure. But I think sometime last year I was like, why am I not doing it? Like, I might as well. I literally went to study music theater. Why is it that I feel like I can't express myself as a singer? So it literally, in fact, there's people who know me as a singer before an actor. Back in the day, immediately I finished high school, I went to a music school where we were being taught. In fact, Professor Hamo was my teacher, my performance
And does that
teacher.
teach singing?
Hey, Professor Hamoni singer mkali.
No wonder mi ushindo.
Oh my God.
Anawezaje kuswitch hivyo?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Professor Hamo alikuwa band inaitwa Tamasha Band, Nakuru. And every Wednesday, they used to do something called Rush Hour. Milango za Nakuru Players Theatre hazingefungika because of how people used to jar that place. And you were lucky to get a spot to perform at Rush Hour. Professor Hamo and Tamasha Band used to shut that place down. Like, he is
So
such
Professor-
a brilliant performer.
So Professor Hamo is what? Is a Jamie Foxx? Because comedy...
Professor Hamo started as a singer. Comedy ni kitu tulimjulia. Sasa watu wa Nakuru, when he started going to Churchill is when he was like, oh, you can be a comedian.
Sinakwambia that's nani? Jamie Foxx. Because
Yeah.
Jamie is a comedian, singer.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Didn't
Professor
know that.
Hamoni performer mkali. Let me tell you guys have not seen. That man can shut down a concert. Like
Learn
anaweza chapa a
something.
2-hour show singing. And you see now he's funny as well. So that's why he had
Hamo,
all
wacha
of that
tutafute
charisma and stuff.
Me there's a clip I
Kuja
saw.
tuimbe.
He's in a church somewhere.
Yes.
Na alikuwa ameitwa job ya MCing. So I think it was watu walikuwa naimba, then he picked it up. I'm there like,
You guys.
sasa anaweza imba.
So even in
Tell
the
us
show, we
gonna do-
feature him. Like there's a story about Professor Hamo and stuff like that. Like in Index 1 now, because he was
'Cause he's on
very
Index 1.
instrumental in my journey as well. Yeah.
Oh, Naikuru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Na Naikuru is an interesting place.
Well,
Yeah,
Nakuru
but
has
it
raised
is.
stars. I can name even 10.
Kusofa si tunajua gani? Avril ni Nakuru.
Yeah.
Was it Maria?
Avril went to Moiforces, which by the way I also went to Moiforces, but years back. There's Professor Hamo. There is Isaiah Evans, who is a director. There is
Hii time unatafuta mtu acha niseme I think Dag Mtai pia claims Nakuru.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Because stand-up collective, like
Stand-up
shit,
collective.
to start that shit.
yes.
To me,
Pia
I'll
there's a
always
guest we had
salute.
here ako Finland, who's also nakumbuka jamaa alikuwa anatuambia about Finland. He was from Nakuru.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pia
Chris
nani?
McKenna.
Nani pia? I think
Chris Mureithi,
Nakuru.
rather. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris Mureithi. Okay, nani
Yes.
pia? What's his name? This guy. Hiyo jina imepotea. Umenipoteza na stories za Chris.
Sorry.
Damn, mpaka hata hii
But
jina imepotelea.
Nakuru stand
Who
out,
was he? Nani? The comedian, the funny comedian. One of the funniest comedians in Kenya, funniest actors. Damn, Shiti.
Shiti no Nakuru.
Yeah, Shiti anakuwaga Nakuru pia.
No.
Tumbili.
Yeah,
I love that. Goofy
Nuts is the
Dogs,
shit.
Goofy, the poet.
Oh, okay,
He's
okay.
from Nakuru.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Damn, okay,
Watu wa
watu
Nakuru.
wanini?
Faith Kibathi, single kiasi. I was in the same high school with Faith Kibathi. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, mko kwa
Sorry,
wingi,
go on and
mko kwa
on.
wingi.
Okay.
So nacheki kuna collaboration nakuja na yo ya tajiri kuzincheki yo ya tajiri pia nilimcheki mkidu nini naye.
Right.
So is there even a real song kujaing ama
Yoaya has written my first song.
okay.
Yes, we wrote that song with him. Inaitwa Itakuwa Sawa, which we also feature it in the show actually.
Okay.
It's a very, you can get it on TikTok. Tujai release bado.
So need to snippets for TikTok.
To snippets kwa TikTok. But also on my YouTube channel you can find it, and it's a very beautiful song actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh damn, but I think one of the things lazima tupatie your flowers for you're someone who found what they're good at, and I think you've explored it from all sectors najua like umetry ku get the best out of it, and I think pia another beautiful thing ni yo now wacha tuongejua NCR like what are the dreams with it, because I find it and I see it's a very good idea. Alafu I always say like to do something consistently at some point it has to bring in some money.
Yeah.
But now the fact that kuna time kuna kugana music in the background, that takes them away the money from you. So is there a way to do it design where yes kutakuwa na ile ya social media alafu kuna ingine tena ya kugenerate your income so that you can do it more and more and more. Is there
yes, we are in the middle of trying to figure out how to structure it, even just as a product, to find ways that we can monetize it. But I think at the moment, I think brands are the ones that are at the back of our minds, because I think also one of the things I'm really proud of is we also feature people who are not well known, but they are really, really good at what they do.
Yes.
And so, our aim at the end of the day is to absolutely like put Kenyan music out there, because unajua kwanza kwa watu wa kusemanga Kenyan music si sijui nini, hatupendi kusikiza Kenyan music and stuff like that.
Yes, kwenda.
Yeah. And as someone who really enjoys music and consumes a lot of music, that's one of the things we want to do. But definitely we're looking to have brands just come on board and be movers of this industry and promote the pop culture in Kenya really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Nyokabi.
Yes.
Thank you mono.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, tumefurahia hii conversation.
Hata
Iza
mimi.
juu ya kufanya utetee madem hapa.
Lazima nitetee madem. Mi kule nitaenda lazima niwatetee.
Basi sasa umetoka at some point uko nafikia hizi raya ni massagonists, ndio?
Si ndio?
Tumejeza tu massagonists.
Huko ni wapi? Huko ni wapi?
Majuzi nimecheka nilikuwa online and someone had written Mwafrika has been paid to push an anti-marriage agenda. They're like, I'm married. I keep telling people I've been married for like close to 11 years.
Right.
How the hell am I pushing an anti-marriage agenda?
Kwa hivyo uende uko na successful marriage. You are the silent ones we are talking about.
Yeah, like
Kwa hivyo tukusikize.
mnafaa kwa mnanisikiza lakini amtakai kunisikia ini mnakogala we tell each other everything right now, yes, the present and the future tell each other, lakini the past ile stories za choa chaneni hizo just go with that to the grave.
Tumesikia hiyo maneno.
When
I'm married I'll come back to report. If it works or not.
Hata ukidanganywa like just tell me, it won't hurt my feelings.
Nisisikie.
It would hurt my feelings.
Good to know.
Is this the best you ever had? Yes. Like ilikuwa ni Ludacris and who? The best you ever had. Asha and Ludacris. There used to be that song. Best you ever had.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to pretend it's the best. Ukisema like you can do better. Feelings.
Kwisha.
Alafu inakuwa nini? But hey, imekuwa ni episode 560.
Yay.
Damn.
Yay. Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
A lot.
For 80 weeks,
Yes.
someone can have a single episode you watch every day for 80 weeks.
Crazy.
Yes. So episode 560, kama kawaida tusema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema eko nene.
Eko nene.
Eko nene.